Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And on behalf of the live sim racing programming, along with the World of Thunder iRacing League, Mimi's Makings in Motion, it is big money night tonight, part of the third annual. DirtFan.com Super Late Model Speedweek has the best of the best from preliminary night on Sunday are now ready to make it for the big money. $1,000 to win this evening for round number 3, if you will, of the third annual Dirt Fan Super Late Model Speed Week on your home for sim racing. I am Wesley Outlet. I will be your guide, your tour, your captain, your host along the way. And the man that'll be calling the action we're about to introduce here in just a couple of moments, Chris Dunn and Zach Newton. On the production chair, as always, a phenomenal job for Mr. Charles Wooten on the producer side. These drivers have been battling since Sunday evening. 4 drivers got locked in from 2 preliminary features on Sunday night. And for those 4 drivers, like Majulis and Morgan, that won those races, they can rest easy. They know they got a chance to run for $1,000 to win. However, there's a whole bunch of other preliminaries that will all be decided tonight through the outlooks of qualifying, last chance races, and so much more. Mimi's Makings in Motion, Hunt's Performance, Mike's Crazy Paints, KRM Digital Marketing, Swag E-Wraps and Graphics, Folds Graphics, DirtFan.com, Envision Custom Graphics, Dirt Clash, Super Street Series, Grace Productions, LMP Kitchen and Bath Designs, and so many others, including Scalp Race Wraps, Warrior Logistics, Loud Pedal Productions, and Richard Rocket Setups, all present this Speed Week on LSR TV. Practice is just about to wrap up. Let's now go topside to the men in the booth virtually that'll be calling the races. Qualifying is about to get underway. Indiana's Chris Dunn and Kentucky's Zach Newton.
Thanks a lot, Wesley Outland. Chris Dunn alongside Zach Newton. Zach, big night tonight. $1,000 going to somebody's pocket tonight. It's going to be good, and especially here at this little bull ring here at Lanier, it's going to get nuts, I believe.
I don't think I've ever seen $1,000 in person. I don't think I've ever seen that much money in one place.
That's just 10 $100. That's just 10 $100 bills.
Yeah, 10. Just 10. All right, just 10, this guy says. No, we've got a lot of money on the line tonight. Going to be some great racing action. It's going to be a real doozy of a format this evening. So here's what's about to happen. You're about to see qualifying start up here in 2 minutes. We're going to take the top 18 qualifiers straight into a 40-lap A main. They're going to line up heads up how they qualify. If practice times hold, so your front row would be Mason Clark and Ryan Underwood with Ethan Toder, the only rookie in the top 10 in points after night 1 at Knoxville. Looking very fast as well. The top 18 drivers go to a 40-lap A main, and the top 2 in that 40-lapper will go on to the Mimi's Makings in Motion Nationals for $1,000 to win. They'll start 5th and 6th. Then we're going to split into, I believe, 2 last chance qualifier servers, and we're going to take, I believe, the top 9 out of those. We have to listen to race control, see how many cars we have, make time in those servers before we can get that to you officially, but that is my guess. We'll put 24 cars on the track. We'll go 100 laps here at Lanier for $1,000, Chris.
I tell you what, if you're looking in that pylon on the left side of the screen, that 18 spot is what you're going to be paying attention to this evening. That's that bubble spot. Right now, there's a pair of Hanses on that bubble spot. Jennifer in the number 11. This is just practice times, mind you. Don't forget. And Kevin Hans sitting back there in the 19th spot. So this is practice times. This is not what we're looking at right now. But if this is qualifying, it's a battle of the Hanses right now.
Absolutely, and you can see the difference between first place fastest in practice Mason Clark and 18th Jennifer Hans is just a little over a tenth of a second, not quite 0.2 of a second, Chris. So this field is very evenly matched. That is going to be a hotly contested qualifying session, and we are about a minute away from getting it started.
Yeah, look back there behind them. 22nd, Chad Combs. 21st, Chase Hardy. You got Tyler Ivey in 23rd. Bergeron, 24th back there. Justin Sick, McSwain back there, 27th.
Yeah, what a story it would be if Alex Bergeron, a two-time World of Outlaws Sprint NOS Energy Drink Series on iRacing champion, wasn't able to make this A main, or Zach McSwain, who has split from Slick Sim Sports and is now kind of going the way of the outlaw, much like Drew Hopkins, who has left HRE Motorsports. You can see Hopkins currently sitting in 12th, just above James Grace and Tyler Berry there in the middle of the pack. Those two drivers leaving their teams have gone independent. So we will have to see what happens in this one. Name missing from this list is, at least I do not see Kendall Tucker currently. No, he is on the timesheet 10th. I was missing him there. But yeah, we've got a great program coming up, and we are getting ready to go qualifying, Chris.
All right, we are looking for the top 18 out of qualifying here tonight. And that's what I said. We're going to be keeping an eye on that 18th position as qualifying is getting set to get underway. As you see the cars pulling out onto the racetrack right now, there you see Ivy. There you see the 22 of Mason Clark pulling out onto the racetrack right now. We'll let him get a couple of laps up to speed here, and we'll get the times as they come around here at Lanier.
Well, this looks like a group qualifying session, and I'm now a little confused, Chris. Not sure what we're seeing here. Maybe something strange happening in iRacing. We'll get that sorted out. We'll get it explained. No, we see people taking times. Currently, Ethan Toder shoots to the top of the timesheet. Ryan Underwood follows suit. So we are seeing all these cars qualify. This may be a server overlap of some kind, as there you see Ethan Toder in that 23 machine.
But none of these cars, I believe none of these cars can make contact with each other, correct?
That is my understanding, yes.
Jerry Flippo sitting in that top spot right now. Underwood second. Toder in that third spot. Ruggiero fourth. Only 12 cars right now have taken time at the moment. So look at see Jennifer Hantz up there third quick right now. Third quick for Jennifer Hantz.
So we will have to see what we can do here. Now, one of the advantages of going from qualifying straight into this 40-lap feature, Chris, is Lanier, a 3/8 mile dirt oval. We're just outside of Atlanta, Georgia this evening. Lanier has a little bit of a reputation for locking down and kind of turning into a follow-the-leader racetrack around the bottom. It did that in those 40-lap features the other night, and you saw it in the first one if you tuned in or you've caught a replay since then. Ryan Underwood was the fastest car on the racetrack in those in that first qualifier, but couldn't get around Evan C. or Blake Majulis because of the way the track locked up. So go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, we now have a bubble driver right now. It is Kevin Hantz right now sitting in that 18th position right now. Kevin Hantz currently sitting on the bubble. Mason Clark one spot out right now. He was quickest in that practice session. He's now one spot out of the group now. Smith, now Freeberg now in that 18th position as Clark jumps up to 5th.
And you got to watch. Oh, this is very interesting. What we're seeing here. Yeah, you're gonna see. We got to watch Barry Sorensen down there. He's a former World of Thunder Series champion. Alex Bergeron is not out of the woods. He is 14th quick. So we will have to see as this group qualifying effort, as we wrap up here. James Edens is going to miss the show as of right now, down there in 21st. We'll have to see exactly what happens here. Drew Hopkins is down there as well. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with qualifying. We'll have to get in touch with race control and see if we can figure that out here.
Looks like McCollum currently sitting there in that 18th and final position. Right now on the bubble, Mr. McCollum there in that 18th position. Alex McCollum coming to us out of Phillipsburg, New Jersey. Now we got carnage everywhere on this racetrack right now.
Yeah, I am more than a little bit perplexed. Now Ryan Underwood has shot too quick time, so I'm not sure what's going on with this qualifying. Yeah, got some questions. I've sent a message up to race control. We'll see if we can get to the bottom of this, Chris.
Right now, it's a free-for-all demolition derby on the racetrack right now to try to get in that top 18 right now. There's Dustin Hall in that 331 machine. Right, it's Underwood, McSwain, Tucker, Filippo, Clark. Right now, your top 5. Hantz, Ruggiero, Hantz, Toder, and Murtaugh. Your top 10. McCollum still sitting on that 18th spot. Hagen Sorensen, one spot out looking in. Chase Hardy sits there in that 20th position right now. So we got a minute 18 to go in qualifying.
And it is open qualifying, so that means it is a free-for-all. You've got 5 minutes to put the fastest lap you can on the board. You get as many tries as you can fit in the time limit.
So they know that they can pretty much just beat each other up out there, and they are at that understanding. So
Yeah, so you're seeing guys try to get the fastest lap in that they can. Tried their best to stay out of each other's way, but again, it is a large group open format qualifying, which is going to help run the racetrack in just a little bit as well.
If I'm McCollum, I'm just knocking the hell out of everybody right now.
Well, it's a bold strategy, Chris, but it could pay off for the kid. You see Barry Sorensen, Chase Hardy now, the last two drivers on the outside looking in. Again, if you cannot make it into the top 18 in qualifying, you still have a couple of last chance qualifiers to try to race your way in as we look at Barry Sorensen here as he puts another lap on the board. Didn't look like he moved up there at all. I think the lineup here is pretty well set in stone. Unless something wholly remarkable happens as the track is starting to run itself in just a little bit.
Yeah, it's starting to see it slick off just a tick. So Hagen Sorensen right now sitting in a 19th spot right now. Got to pick it up just a bit as he rolls down the back straightaway, works it down into the bottom of the racetrack out of turn 4. See if he jumps up there. No, not quite. 20 seconds left to go.
Yeah, just a few seconds left in this one. You can see Sorensen woe up there. He's going to stop on the front straightaway. He'll take the car off the track. And but we've got a couple more guys here. Names on the outside looking in. You might recognize Chase Hardy, Justin Sick, James Grace, Tyler Berry, Donnie Batiste back there. Your top 18 is set, Chris, as we get ready to go feature racing 40 laps the distance.
It's going to be good right here. Top 2. That's all we're fighting for, is the top 2.
Yeah, 40 laps to get into that top 2 here at Lanier. This is going to be a little bit of bedlam. I think we're about to see this 3/8 mile again, just outside of Atlanta, right across the street from the Road Atlanta Motorsports Complex. So the Lanier Raceplex is normally a 3/8 mile concrete oval or asphalt oval, but iRacing has thrown the dirt down so we can get down and dirty in this one. Row 1, Zach McSwain and Richard Murtaugh Jr. sneaks in. That'll be your front row for this 40 lap feature.
Row 2 on the inside, the number 88 machine, little head knocker. That is Trent Ivey out of Union, South Carolina. Outside of him, James Edens in the number 52 machine out of Petaluma, California. He'll start 4th.
Row number 3 is Brett Riles in the 17 and Anthony Bate in the 33.
Row number 4 on the inside, it's J.D. Brown at the number 14 out of Bakersfield, California. Outside of him, Dustin Hall in that 331 coming to us out of Columbia, Missouri.
Row number 5, the 6 of Jack Smith, and the 93 of Kyle Dersham.
Row number 6 on the inside, it's the 22 of Mason Clark out of Clear, Michigan. Outside of him, the number 11, it is the Diva of Dirt. It's Mama, it's Jennifer Hotz, the woman behind Mimi's Makings in Motion out of Noster, Missouri.
Row number 7, the 13 California modified driver Jerry Flippo to his outside, the 999 of Dylan Fox.
Row number 8 on the inside, it's Ryan Underwood in the 46 out of Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Outside of him, C.J. Howell in the 2 out of Ball, Louisiana.
And row number 9, the 157 machine out of Broadhead, Kentucky, the Rockcastle Rocket, Drew Hopkins. And to his outside, the 44 of John Ruggiero Jr.
So a good lineup here. 18 cars getting set to go. Top 2 will transfer out of this top 40 lapper. And we're going to bring our host, Wesley Outland, in here. Wesley, a pretty eclectic group of 18 cars coming up here. What's your predictions for this 40 lapper?
Holy cow, Chris and Zach. This is caliber of an A-main here fighting for 2 spots. This should be exciting. This should be interesting, and this should be fun. And might I add, you've got some of the best of virtual iRacing late model racers and even some real dirt late model racers out there like Trent Ivey. I thought Trent Ivey was going to Lawrence tonight. Instead, he decided to make the trip to run for $1,000 tonight for the World of Thunder here at Lanier. It should be exciting, gentlemen. We'll see what happens in this race.
I'm excited. I'm listening to. They said they're going to a new lobby.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here. We'll be right back as we get things sorted here back here on the Mimi's Makings in Motion Speedweek here on LSR TV, your home for sim racing. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a drink. We'll be back with more after this.
We're off and racing for 300 laps tonight, 300 laps tomorrow night. Look at car number 110. He said, look at me, I'm out the lead. He is right in the middle of the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen, in reverse with cars
We're based out of West Monroe, Louisiana. We do custom T-shirts, racing. We'll do any shirt. We'll do schools, churches, fundraisers. We do a ton of event shirts, as you can see on our board here, all around our banner. Personalized. I mean, we do anything. It doesn't matter to us. We got the custom rugs. We use all the, top quality shirts, inks and everything. Hoodies, hats. We do embroidered hats, embroidered shirts. Just you can call us for anything. We do offer the bag and fold, to where you can receive them and they're already labeled and tagged and bagged, ready to give out to your customers. So you just call us and just tell us, hey, this is what we're looking at doing, and if we're going to put the car on there, it is 125 quantity minimum. If it's without the car, it's 60 quantity minimum. That's strictly on the racing stuff. If it's a business or something, if you race on Texas shirts, it's a little bit differently. You can call us. It just depends on your quantity and ink colors. Everything is hand drawn. I mean, everything. We don't Photoshop anything onto a shirt or anything like that. Everything that we go through, everything is drawn, and which is the reason for the art fees. We do have several graphic artists that draw for us, and they're really good. So what we do is on any package that you do, we can mix and match. We can do any colors. You can do purple, red, blue, green, and do the rest black. It doesn't matter to us. With your design on there, we can do hoodies. We can do hoodies, long sleeve shirts, T-shirts, tank tops. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's almost limitless what you can do, and you can put all that together in that package to make that minimum requirements. They can call us 318-278-7191, or they can email us at bulletprooftees@yahoo.com, or they can go to the website bulletprooftees.com.
Welcome back to Lanier Raceplex as we prepare for the big $1,000 to win night number 3 of the 3rd annual DirtFan.com Super Late Model Speed Week. The Demolition Derby is continuing. The crashing is continuing. And if you notice on the upper left, practice is back underway. And the reason why is we have hit the reset button. There was a accidental setup for the procedure for the race. There was open qualifying format put in. They did not agree with that. They did not want their times to stand that way. So for that reason, we have nullified the first 20 minutes. That's right. We're going to hit the reset button, rewind, and start all over again. So as again, open practice is on track now. Coming up, we'll be qualifying. We'll lock in the top 18, and then we'll get ready for the preliminary last chance races, the 40-lapper, and then that 100-lapper century grind around Lanier, paying $1,000 to win. And since we have hit the restart button and started over, let's go back to the men to get things kicked off again in the broadcast booth. Zach Newton and Chris Nunn.
Well, here we are once again.
Yeah, welcome back.
Oh yeah, I didn't move, but here we are again.
We didn't really move, exactly.
Back at Lanier Raceplex. Yeah, I sat comfortably in my home office the entire time. We're getting qualifying underway here. The format is still the same. Top 18 in qualifying will go to a 40-lap feature. We'll get that lineup squared away this time. We'll get that race to you here in just about 5 minutes. In the meantime, though, you are about to see these guys vie for one of 18 spots. There's about 36 cars, I think, that will take time here tonight, and so we're gonna have to settle that before we can move any further.
We do have cars on the racetrack right now. There's Donnie Batiste on the racetrack in that number 19 machine, getting his times at the moment. James Gray is currently fastest, 13.95. Dustin Hall second, Mason Clark third, and Chase Hardy now to that 6th spot on the timing charts. And once again, you're going to be looking towards that 18 spot. That's going to be the bubble for this first 40-lapper, where we'll take the top 2.
Ryan Underwood way down the timesheet with his first lap. We'll have to see if he can pick it up here. That's not what you want to see if you're that 46 machine. Chase Hardy, though, turns in a good time. He's currently sitting in 10th. Underwood, there he shoots to the top of the lineup sheet. That looks a little more like what we expect out of the Weed Eater from Elizabeth City, North Carolina. There you've seen that gorgeous black and purple. Number 46, J.D. Brown tops him, though. And this is getting good, Chris.
You like to talk about that Underwood car a lot. It's like you painted it or something.
It is something like that, isn't it?
J.D. Brown up top now. Drew Hopkins into that 3rd spot. Brett Rolls now into 4th spot. James Grace 5th. Dustin Hall 6th. Chad Combs from right down the road here in Bloomington up there in the 8th spot right now. On the bubble, Alex McCollum right now in 18th. Now it's Tyler Berry into an 18th position. And Ethan Toter, back there in 22nd now. So we still got about 3 minutes to go. This is going to change completely as the rest of the way, as Murtaugh now goes to the top spot. Eden's now to 3rd.
Yeah, there's Dylan Fox shoots up the lineup sheet, so he turns in a pretty solid lap there. We're gonna have to see how this shakes out. You see, we're getting close to having this done and dusted and getting ready for this 40-lap feature. Richard Murtaugh currently your quick time. Kendall Tucker 2nd. Now John Ruggiero going to slide into 4th behind J.D. Brown. Dylan Fox is 5th quick.
Right now it is Mason Clark on the bubble in the 18th spot. Tanner Folds right behind him in the 19th position. Hagen Sorensen right there as well on the hot seat in 17th. So we're keeping an eye right now. Kendall Tucker 2nd quick on the racetrack right now. There is the number 88 machine of Trent Ivey, Trent Ivey there in the number 88 machine. The little head knocker in that 88. We'll see where he pops up here on the timing charts.
And we thought he would maybe go run. There's a real race that Wesley mentioned earlier that we thought he might go run tonight. Instead, he opted to stay at home, parking in a nice comfy chair at his house, and race for $1,000 here on iRacing and the Mimi's Makings in Motion Nationals, part of the 3rd annual DirtFan.com Super Late Model Speed Week. Alex Bergeron, 2-time World of Outlaws Sprint Car Champion, takes time here in his Dirt Late Model. We'll have to see where he stacks up among the leaderboard. Right now, again, your top 10, Murtaugh, Tucker, Brown. Bergeron goes 4th quick. Ruggiero, Fox, Edens, McSwain, Underwood, and Hopkins.
Right now on the bubble is Hagen Sorensen in that 18th position right now, as a Bergeron currently sitting in that 4th spot at the moment. Pulls it to a stop there right in front of the Garrison Racing Equipment sign. Minute 20 left to go here as Richard Murtaugh currently sits at the top spot right now. Kendall Tucker second, J.D. Brown third, Alex Bergeron in the fourth spot, John Ruggiero in fifth. Some guys going to have to make some runs up towards the top right now. Clark, Folds, Jennifer Hantz currently sitting up there in that 21st position. It's got to be disappointing for her because she was locked in after that first qualifying that got nullified.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some unhappy folks, but unfortunately that is the way the cookie crumbles, Chris. Nothing we can do, but they're not out of it yet. They've still got two last chance qualifier races to come up in just a little while. That will go 30 laps the distance in each of those to figure out who goes to the big show, and then we go 100 laps, a century the distance in tonight's A main for $1,000, Chris.
Currently don't see any action on the racetrack at the moment right now. Is somebody waiting to come out last, hopefully, and maybe knock somebody out, or is everybody going to sit pat on their times?
I believe that everybody has, all the cars have taken time, so we are going to, they should be rolling the session over here in just a few seconds. We'll get this field lined up. We'll run through the lineup sheet, and then we will go 40 laps to figure out who the next two starters in the Mimi's Makings in Motion Nationals for $1,000 are. Blake Majulis and Devin Morgan, your winners of Sunday's 40-lap twin qualifiers. They'll start on the front row. Evan C. and Trevor Fitz, your runners-up on Sunday. They'll start third and fourth. Evan C. won last night at Knoxville, took home $50 in a dominant fashion. Chris, as we get ready to line this feature up for you.
All right, hopefully we will have the correct lineup here and get set to go here. Front row, we're going to see Richard Murtaugh Jr., the number 33 machine out of Fulton, New York. Outside of him, that is going to be Kendall Tucker in the 00 machine out of Mount Airy, North Carolina.
Row number 2, the 14 of J.D. Brown, comes to you from Bakersfield, California. Outside of him, from Drummondville, Quebec, Canada, it's Alex Bergeron.
Row 3 on the inside, and the number 44 out of Lincolnton, North Carolina is John Ruggiero Jr. Outside of him, the number 99 machine, that is Dylan Fox. Dylan Fox in that 099 machine coming to us out of Plymouth, Wisconsin.
Row number 4 is James Edens out of Petaluma, California. Starting on the inside, outside is Zach McSwain in the 25. He comes out of Gaffney, South Carolina.
Row 5 on the inside, it's Ethan Toder in that number 23 machine. Outside of him, it's going to be Brett Rolls in that number 17 car.
That's row 6, folks. We're sorry about that.
That was row 6. Ethan Toder in the number 23 machine coming to us out of DeMossville, Kentucky. And Brett Rolls coming to us in the number 17 machine as well. That is row number 6.
Row 7 is James Grace in the 269 machine out of Fallon, Nevada. To his outside is Dustin Hall's 331 out of Columbia, Missouri.
Row number 8 on the inside out of Bloomington, Indiana. It's Chad Combs in the 09 machine, the Madman out of Bloomington. Outside of him is the number 13 of Jerry Flippo out of Bakersfield, California.
And bringing up the rear, it's Brandon Freeberg in the number 171 machine out of Metamora, Illinois for EAD Racing. To his outside, shotgun on the field, it's Baby Hagen. Barry Sorensen in the 45 machine out of Harlan, Iowa.
All right, 19 or 18 cars getting set to go. I'll bring Wesley back in as we kind of got interrupted last time. Wesley, you mentioned it a while ago, man. This is just like a miniature A main right here. This is going to be an absolute dogfight for 2 spots.
Yeah, let's try this again, shall we? By the way, 2 drivers did not take time in qualifying. That includes Eric Scalfin, 17, and Bo Krebs in the number, let's see here, 68 machine. So again, 18 drivers fighting for 2 spots to battle for $1,000 to win in that 100-lap feature. And then again, guys, we got last chance races and more to set the rest of the lineup. Heat race number 1 coming up, all these on the way. What will we call this race? Let's get ready for the LSR TV 40-lap dash. That's what we'll call it, because there's really not a sponsor for this one, and it's all presented by your home for sim racing. So guys, let's go back to y'all in the booth, and I'm picking Richard Murtaugh to win this one, go into the A main. Zach, we said last night at Knoxville how impressed I've been with that driver in the 33. I think he's going to take it for 100 laps later tonight.
Well, he has come a long way, certainly. I'm going to take Kendall Tucker myself on the outside of front row. Big, consistent driver. We get ready to take the green flag, Chris.
Yeah, and I'm going with Bergeron. Big bucks coming out of turn 4 here. Green flag is out here in this 40-lap qualifier. Top 2 go to tonight's main event. There you take a look. Down the back straightaway they go. Murtaugh, Tucker, 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway side by side out of turn number 3 and 4. Bergeron sits back in third. 1 lap complete.
Absolutely great racing all the way back to the field. You see Dylan Fox gets turned by McSwain. He may get him back straight. Now McSwain's around. He collects Hopkins. There's Underwood and a whole bunch of drivers. We're going to go yellow, I think. Absolutely we are. And we'll have to sort all this out. A whole bunch of guys got involved in that caution flag.
Got a massive pile up there coming out of turn 1 and 2. Here we go. Check out your replay. Brought to you by Swag. I'd like to thank those fine folks, Swaggy Wraps and Graphics, for bringing us our instant replays here. So take a look here down the back front straightaway into turn 1. There you see it right there.
Yeah, McSwain gets into Dylan Fox, and then it's just bedlam on behind him. They collect a whole bunch of cars on the way back, and that'll bring out our first caution just a couple laps in. As you see, McSwain has parked at pit side.
From Kendall Tucker, there you see him, the 00 machine out front. He was your leader there after the first couple of laps. Look at caution flags are counting right now here in this main, or the, well, I almost called it a main event. It's a 40-lapper. It's pretty much a main event, but only 2 go to the $1,000 main event later on this evening.
Absolutely. And again, your top 2 currently, Kendall Tucker and Richard Murtaugh. Tucker started on the outside pole. He's the guy. So, Chris, you didn't tender a pick. You want to get one in now?
Oh, I picked Bergeron.
Oh, you picked Bergeron, didn't you? Well, there you go. Alex Bergeron. So we're running 1, 2, and 3 right now. Again, with Wesley's track record, I'd like to apologize to Richard Murtaugh in advance.
Don't go there. Do not go there, guys. Don't go there.
The announcer jinx is in effect.
Tucker brings the field to green down the front straightaway. It's a single file restart. You can see Murtaugh, Bergeron, JD Brown, John Ruggiero, your top 5. Tucker looking very comfortable here out in front of the pack, leading this one at Lanier. Starts to pull away just a little bit. 3 or 4 car lengths he opens up in that 1 lap, Chris.
That's right, out of turn number 1 and 2. Down that back straightaway they go into 3 and 4. Single file right now. We mentioned it. This track does have a tendency to kind of lock down just a little bit. Hopefully we'll keep the track maintenance up just a tick throughout the evening. Murtaugh sitting in that second and final transfer spot right now, but he has got Alex Bergeron breathing down his neck. He's headed to turn number 3 out of 4.
Bergeron looks like he got a little loose through 3. He's going to lose a little bit of ground off of turn 4 there to Murtaugh. Out in front, though, still Kendall Tucker. You can see John Ruggiero starts to work on JD Brown. They're going to have a little bit of racing to do here in just a couple laps. Out front, though, Kendall Tucker again starting to pull away.
Starting to pull away. Indeed, he is. About 0.4 of a second lead right now over Murtaugh. Bergeron still sitting back there in that 3rd spot. Nothing changing up front. The top 5, it is still Tucker, Murtaugh, Bergeron, Brown, and Ruggiero, as we have 10 in out of 40. Still a long ways to go, however.
And you see McSwain there at the bottom of your leaderboard. He started 18th position. He was parked pit side after that caution flag, and he is done for this portion of the evening. He will have a chance to pull out a backup car for those last chance qualifier races. You can see Ryan Underwood, who is also involved, starting to work his way back up the leaderboard, but he's got a long way to go to the top 2 as Kendall Tucker continues to tick laps away out in front.
Good run for Kendall Tucker right now, looking to lock himself into that 100-lap, 1,000 to win main event later on this evening. Murtaugh, Bergeron, 1, 2, and 3 right now. JD Brown's got a 2-wide battle behind him between Edens and Ruggiero. James Edens trying to make something happen here on the bottom of the racetrack.
Well, usually, Chris, when this track does lock down, it locks down and goes 1 lane around the bottom, and it hasn't done that just yet. You see 2 kind of distinct racing grooves, guys up around the top, and then James Edens on the bottom, but we have a caution out.
So that's going to change things up just a tick here, as we will find out what the caution was for here on our Swag Wraps and Graphics instant replay. Hopefully, knock on wood.
See the 171 machine of Brandon Freeberg here is the focus of our replay right now, and nope, it was up in front of him.
Like Fox was involved as well, Dustin Hall involved. There's Chad Combs in the 09 machine.
Take another look here. Dylan Fox has a lot of damage on that car. You see Drew Hopkins back there working the high side behind him. Flippo drives it in deep, slides up the racetrack. That's not it. Oh, Hopkins may have given Dylan Fox.
No,
there it is.
Flippo gave Drew Hopkins a little elbow smash there coming out of the turn.
Well, Hopkins tried to fit a race car there where there may not have been space for one. Flippo couldn't get on the brakes fast enough, and that brings out our caution flag here.
So Flippo about Flippoed another car, right?
Very good, Chris. Thank you.
That's my one. That's my one for the day.
Your contributions are truly a gift. We get ready to go back racing here. Kendall Tucker brings the field with the green flag. Pace truck is off, and we're back underway. We've got some bedlam on the restart, though.
Yeah, that was an absolute jumbled up restart there. We're going to see if that actually stays green. As nope, you see Underwood involved, Ethan Toder involved. Caution's back out.
Yeah, so we're going to line that back up, have to figure out what happened there on the restart.
That's two good-looking wraps wadded up right there.
Yeah, it's a lot of work I've put in for nothing, it seems. So you see Toder, yeah, James Edens just decided not to start, is what seems to be the case.
Gas pedal on the right.
Yeah, gas pedals on the right. It's just like every go-kart track you go to. Gas pedals on the right, brakes on the left. You probably won't use the brake that much.
Zach, are they teammates?
They are teammates, and there's going to be a real long conversation here in just a minute. When I take a bathroom break.
I know you have a lot invested in these cars.
I do have a little bit invested in that one.
Zach's going to go down to the big red trailer while I bring Scoot Tatum in for commentary. We're going to replace you with Scoot.
No, I don't think we need to bring Scoot Tatum into these proceedings. That man's a wild animal. So Kendall
20
Tucker.
in.
20 in, Kendall Tucker still your leader. We are taking laps away under caution here. Richard Murtaugh content to sit in second. You can see the clay starting to soak up on the wheels of these drivers. Toder and Underwood have gone to the tail of the longest line back there, and we'll get things back underway here, I believe, this time by.
Looks like we are single file restarting here on this one as Kendall Tucker leads the field out of turn number 4. Back underway, 20 to go here in this 40-lap qualifier. Top 2 go to tonight's 100-lap, $1,000 to win. Main event, nothing like winning $1,000 while sitting in the chair as Bergeron goes to the 2 spot.
Absolutely, Alex Bergeron into second, trying to lock his way in, but he's not done with Murtaugh yet. You've also got J.D. Brown looking to the bottom. Murtaugh slides up the racetrack, tries to pinch Bergeron. Ruggiero's going to follow suit now. It's a 4-car battle here for that final transfer spot. Kendall Tucker's loving this. He's starting to drive away. Murtaugh again slides up the racetrack, trying to pinch Bergeron out, but he can't do it.
Oh, it's getting crazy here for that second and final transfer spot. Bergeron's got it. Murtaugh wants it. So does Brown and Ruggiero. You can throw a blanket over those cars right now. Second, third, fourth, and fifth as Kendall Tucker's like, you guys keep doing that. I'm going to pull away.
J.D. Brown gets to the inside of Murtaugh. They make contact. They're sideways. Murtaugh goes backwards through the field. That may be the end of his competition this evening. He collects Underwood and Freeberg back there, and we are under yellow.
And I believe that was Wesley's pick.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say it.
You know what, guys? It wasn't his fault. It was Sizemore's fault.
Oh, yeah, Sizemore was absolutely responsible, but that's
he's not even out there.
That's neither here nor there. Yeah, Murtaugh collects Brown. Brown manages to hold on to it. Great job by him. Murtaugh facing the wrong way into traffic, and he collects Freeberg, and then Underwood is also involved there.
Murtaugh has really improved as a driver, guys. I'll take the blame. It's my fault that he struggled tonight in 33.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As soon as you picked him, I just thought that, this poor kid.
I'm sorry, Richard.
Well, I'm sure he accepts your apology. He's got a little bit of time to try to get back to the field, work on some more setup stuff. You stay out, you keep getting laps in, and you get a little more opportunity to get the car better for the 2 last chance qualifiers that are coming up.
Well, guys, I used to torture Noel Tucker, Chris. You know this, bud. Every week on Sunday night for World of Thunder. By the way, season 11 comes back October 4th. I used to torture him, and he'd be my pick, and he'd always crash.
Exactly. I mean, it's the Wesley Allen announcer's jinx. As we get back underway here, back in this 20 or 40 lap qualifier, top 2 goes to tonight's 100 lap, $1,000 to win. Main event is there, spreading back out of turn 1 and 2. Ruggiero now to the inside of Bergeron for that second spot. Out of 3 and 4 to go. It's still Kendall Tucker up front.
Ruggiero gets a good drive off the corner. He's in second. James Eden's going to try to follow suit. He's on the inside. Now Ruggiero slides up in front of Bergeron. That opens the door for Edens. Edens gets a gift of a chance to get around Ruggiero. He's got his nose on the inside, but he's not quite there just yet. It's still Kendall Tucker out in front. Ruggiero in second, Edens third.
And they come. Eden's making a work on that bottom side of the racetrack. J.D. Brown trying to follow him as well. Bergeron going from the penthouse to the outhouse right now. From that second spot back to fourth is Eden's sitting in that second and final transfer spot, but Ruggiero's not giving it up too quickly.
Eden's trying to punch his ticket into this feature race tonight. He's got Ruggiero to contend with. Kendall Tucker out in front. We've got cars off the pace. We'll have to see if a caution comes out here. Doesn't look like it's going to. No caution yet. Good for Kendall Tucker with less than 10 to go.
All right, back here we've got a Ruggiero and Eden side by side. Tough break back there for Chad Combs. I saw him slowing around down there as well. So tough break for the Bloomington, Indiana driver, as he'll have to go to one of those LCQs coming up. But man, this battle for that second and final transfer spot, it is getting hot right now with 7 to go. It's anybody's ball game.
Absolutely it is. It's all Kendall Tucker out in front, though. The second transfer spot's the one to watch. James Eden's currently just ahead of John Ruggiero Jr., but keep an eye out for J.D. Brown and Alex Bergeron, who are back there in 4th and 5th, Chris. They are looking for an opportunity to strike.
Yeah, they're still side by side. Laps are clicking down. Here you see them getting lower and lower on the racetrack as they go. James Edens has that second and final transfer spot. It is a dogfight between him and Ruggiero as they roll out of turn number 3 and 4 as the laps clicking down. Right now it's Kendall Tucker's race to lose. He's got about 5-6 car lengths on those 2 cars as they roll down the back straightaway.
If you look at those intervals on the right side of the scoring pylon there, you can see for the first time in about a whole lap, they are different, and John Ruggiero Jr. is out in front of Edens just a little bit. Eden's trying to make the bottom work. Can't quite do it just yet, but they're real close. He's only about a 1/10 of a second back, but that 1/10 of a second is the difference between a third row starting spot and $1,000 to win feature here in just a few minutes, or a trip to one of those LCQs to try to fight your way in.
Ruggiero back up there in that second spot. Now he's got that spot. Eden's got to make something happen here. As that groove is getting smaller and smaller on the bottom of the racetrack right now. 2 to go for Kendall Tucker. Final lap. Zach, take us home.
Kendall Tucker out in front. He's going to walk away and win this one comfortably, but the battle to watch is definitely the one for second. Ruggiero goes to the inside to take the line away. Edens tries to go high and power off. He's not going to do it. It's Kendall Tucker and John Ruggiero Jr. heading to the Mimi's Makings in Motion Nationals.
Good race there for Kendall Tucker and Ruggiero. Your top 2, they are locked themselves in to tonight's 100-lap, $1,000 main event here tonight at Lanier. Wesley Outland, good race there.
What a phenomenal job for the driver for Swindell Esports. The Swindell Speed Lab entry at Mount Airy, North Carolina. Noel Tucker going to not victory lane. He just transfers in to the Mimi's Makings in Motion 100 coming up later tonight. Here's the unofficial results. Kendall Tucker picking up the win. John Ruggiero Jr. in the 44 from Rutherford to North Carolina will join him. For the rest of the drivers on back, Edens, Brown, Bergeron, some big contenders through the top 10. We'll show you the rest of the rundown there, along with Bergeron, Flippo, Sorensen, Grace, Hopkins rolls the top 10. And again, those drivers, Underwood and more, down the line will have to roll through these last chance races that are coming up. So tonight we did not run heat races, but we do want to mention all of the sponsors that make it happen. Grace Productions, Dirt Clash, Super Street Series, Swag Esports and Graphics, Fold Graphics, and Mike's Crazy Paints. And now, gentlemen, we get ready for 2 last chance qualifiers to make your way in. We'll prepare for Scalf Race Wraps last chance race number 1 here at Lanier.
Looks like we're going to be heading over to the interview booth here. There, it looks like those guys are waiting at the moment, so we're going to head over to the interview booth here real fast.
Right.
All right, we've got our winner of tonight's qualifier, our 49 qualifier, Kendall Tucker. Kendall, a pretty easy race up there up front for you. You're now locked into that $1,000 to win main event. Good job.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It feels good to get a spot here in the last qualifier. We had a really fast car the first 2 servers Sunday, and just had some bad luck and things just not go our way. And then last night we finally got up to 3rd with like 20 laps to go, and I was just going into 3, and my monitor fell right on my steering wheel. So that was how that ended. So that's tough, happening in the first points race. I mean, that kind of just kills our hopes of the Speedweek Championship, But we'll try and be up front, the rest of the week hopefully, and it'd be nice to get that $1,000 tonight.
All right, we'll let you get ready and get set for that 1,000 to win main event. And anybody you want to give thanks to?
Yeah, just my guys at Swindell Speed Lab and Slick Sim Sport, and just all my sponsors and partners. Hopefully we can get a chance to interview them after we get the big check tonight.
All right, that is Kendall Tucker, our winner of tonight's 40-lap qualifier. Zach Newton's going to have our second place finisher.
John Ruggiero Jr. comes home in second in this one. John, you went like toe-to-toe with James Edens for a while there. Take us through what that battle was like.
Yeah, we had a really good run there for what felt like 30 laps, but James had the bottom working really good, and I could kind of roll through the middle 1 and 2, and 3 and 4 the line was so high, or the moisture was so high up that it was just making the track too wide, and he was killing me in 3 and 4, so I started moving my line around just a little bit, and thankfully got by him. But man, that was a lot of fun just because he ran me so clean, and I do appreciate him running me clean. It was a pretty good deal.
Absolutely. You're going to start 6th in that 40 or in the 100 lap feature tonight for $1,000. You like your chances?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of good cars that are signed up for this deal, so starting 6th is obviously really good because of track position, but at the end of the day, there's so many good cars that it's not going to be easy. So we're just going to have to bide our time and ride around, try to stay out of trouble and not tear the car up, and then see where we stand with like the last 30 or 40 to go, and then see how the car is.
Absolutely. Well, won't keep you too long. Any sponsors you want to thank for getting you here?
I just want to thank Matthew Logan with ML Performance Shocks, and then D1RT. Blake Majulis has been talking to me a little bit, and he's really helped me a lot.
Absolutely. That's John Ruggiero Jr., your second place finisher this evening. He's going to start 6th in that 100-lap A main for $1,000. And Chris, we've reached kind of a little break point here in the proceedings this evening.
All right, going set for last chance qualifiers coming up here, and see what's going to get good as we bring Wesley Outland back into the fray here. Last chance qualifiers coming up. It's down to the nitty gritty.
It's definitely going to be an exciting and fun time for sure, as those two drivers of Tucker and Mr. Ruggiero, all they're doing right now is just prepping and preparing for that 100-lap A main that'll be coming up here in just a bit. We hope you're enjoying the coverage on Live Sim Racing. Of course, we are your home for sim racing with coverage throughout the week. And by the way, speaking of another race that's coming up, paying $1,000 to win at Martinsville, the E300, Sunday afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 Central on Live Sim Racing and CRN Sports. $1,000 going to the winner of the E300. Make sure you make your plans to either sign up for that event by going to Swag Esports Racing Team on Facebook, and if not, and you're just a fan or a viewer, you can tune in and listen live Sunday afternoon on LSR TV. Again, that event presented by Swag Esports and Graphics. We appreciate them. Smith Wraps and Graphics, located in Seaford, Virginia, making that event happen. And of course, tomorrow night we'll have round number 4 of the Mimmy's Makings in Motion 3rd annual DirtFan.com Super Late Model Speed Week, right here on your home for sim racing, LSR TV, and a nightcap, if you will. Normally they're at 8 p.m. Eastern, but it's paying respects to World of Thunder and not competing against them, working together as allies. They will do their race tomorrow night from Weedsport. I know we're all looking forward to that one tomorrow evening. And then after that, at 10 p.m. Eastern, roughly, when that race concludes, we will have round number 7 from Richmond Raceway for the Swag Outlaw Super Late Model Series. Just some of the great things coming up this week on LSR TV. As again, Chris, a phenomenal job. Those drivers, for everyone else, they're going to try to fight and claw their way in for what final spots remain in these 2 last chance races. We're getting things set up right now for the lineup, and those should be some exciting 30-lap races to decide who will make it into that 100-lap, 1,000-win show here later tonight at Lanier.
Absolutely, and as I believe the lineups are getting finalized, and Zach, do you have the exact number? How many were transferring out of these bad boys?
Chris, I don't have anything.
All right.
We're just on the fly with everything pretty much right now, isn't it?
I have put a message into Race Control, and the only people who have read it until just now were you and Wes, Chris. So, so that's where we are.
There is hope. Here we go, gentlemen. There will be two 30-lap last chance qualifiers, 6 top 6 will transfer. The top 6, and gentlemen, the lineup is also posted on Race Control as well.
Okay, well, we will get to those in just a second.
And by the way, those last chance qualifiers, the C main and the B main, will be presented by LMP Kitchen and Bath Designs and KRM Digital Marketing. Also, shout out to Scalf Race Wraps for also being a D main sponsor, but we do not need a D main here tonight. Other sponsors for the 3rd annual Speedweeks on LSR TV include Mimi's Makings in Motion, Hunt's Performance, Mike's Crazy Paints, KRM Digital Marketing, Swag, E-Wraps and Graphics, Fold Graphics, DirtFan.com, Envision Custom Graphics, the Dirt Clash Super Street Series, Grace Productions, LMP Kitchens and Bath Designs, Warrior Logistics, Loud Pedal Productions, Richard Rocket Setups for a hard luck setup package, and again, the slowest qualifier tonight, Chris, got $10 from Ultimate Dirt TV.
That is correct. Slowest qualifier getting that $10 from Ultimate Dirt TV. And our lineups are getting situated at the moment. And I can tell you right now, B main number 1, or last chance qualifier number 1, is going to have James Edens and JD Brown on the pole. And then B main number 2, we'll have Alex Bergeron and Jerry Flippo on the front row of those. And we're taking 6 out of each one. So that's going to be 12 plus 6, 18 cars starting field for tonight's 1,000 to win 100 lapper.
Absolutely. 18 cars. A little smaller than your typical super dirt late model feature field, but that is what Race Control has decided to go with. So that is what we're going to do. Top 6 will go out of each one of these, and I believe they'll stagger the lineups. So the winner of 1 and we'll call these B main. B main number 1, all those guys line up on the inside. B main number 2, those guys will line up on the outside, and we'll have the field set here in just a few short minutes, Chris.
Yeah, so like I said, we're just waiting to get those lobbies set and get those taken care of. So I believe we can. We got Wesley. We got time for a break. Cody, I don't know if we're gonna check with Cody here on our see how much ETA we have.
Well, we go to commercial break. How about it, guys? How about tomorrow night? How excited are we ready to see what Weed Sport's going to provide?
Zach is so excited he can't stand up.
I'm tickled pink. I can't wait. Like I said, I told you this last night, Wesley. These guys have been practicing have no idea what to do with Weed Sport.
It's going to be a fun time for sure. And like I said, the layout of the track is just like the real deal in the Empire State of New York. And another thing that we've all talked about here recently in the last couple of days is the new update for iRacing that they've done. I love the ambiance of the atmosphere with the crowds cheering, the crowds booing, the sound of a public address echoing through the broadcast. Kind of makes that atmosphere look like it's the real deal. Just some of the awesome stuff that iRacing has done here in the most recent update.
Yeah, it's awesome. And we Brett and I were talking about some quality of life updates that they did at Eldora, and there's all kinds of awesome stuff. They've done a really great job committing to realism with recreating these dirt tracks, some of these smaller tracks all around the country. You know, Weed Sport is awesome. I know they've got I-55 coming at some point in the future.
Oh, yeah.
There's a whole bunch of tracks that they've scanned that are going to be a ton of fun. iRacing has been really a great thing for the dirt racing community, especially with everything going on around the country this year. So it's definitely been really cool to see a lot of the pro guys try their hand at this, because apparently these things are nothing like real race cars. So it's been a lot of fun just to watch over the spring and summer all the cool stuff they've done here on iRacing.
And by the way, don't forget, coming up in just a couple of weeks' time, less than 3, Sunday night, October 4th, is season 11 of the Mimi's Makings in Motion World of Thunder. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will have the last chance races from Lanier.
Let's go! It's in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, we're off and racing for 300 laps tonight, 300 laps tomorrow night. Look at car number 110. He said, look at me, I'm out the lead. racetrack, ladies and gentlemen, in reverse with cars Welcome back to Lanier Raceplex on LSR TV. Zach Newton, Chris Nunn, Wesley Outland, your host, also Charles Wooten on the production side of things, as we get ready now for the final warm-up, if you will, before the drivers prepare to go for these two last chance qualifiers. It'll be two B mains. One will be presented by LMP Kitchen and Bath Designs, followed by KRM Digital Marketing B main number 2. The top 6 will transfer in to the 100-lap event, paying $1,000 to win. The biggest paying event of our third annual DirtFan.com Super Late Model Speed Week. Let's go back to the gentlemen calling the race, Chris Nunn and Zach Newton, as practice is about to wrap up.
That's right, Chris Nunn alongside the Kentucky gentleman, Zach Newton. What's up, Zach? Ready to go with this one?
I like that a lot. You can do that all you'd like to. That Kentucky gentleman nickname, that hits real nice. So we are currently under practice here. Just a few minutes to go in this one. And we're going to have us a good time here for 30 laps, the distance in LCQ number 1. There you see Ethan Toter, currently 6th quick in this one. He will start 6th. Ryan Underwood, currently fastest in practice, will start just to his inside in 5th. We're going to set the lineup for you here. This practice will not go 15 minutes, don't you worry. And we are getting ready for a battle. We're going to try to cram about 18 cars into 6 spots, Chris. It's going to be a real mess.
It's certainly going to be a dogfight to try to get into that 1,000 to win main event coming up here later on tonight. We are going to have 16 cars in this first one, and it looks like 15 in the second one. So it's going to be a nail biter here, getting to those top 6. So we're going to be watching that 6th and final bubble spot throughout the race tonight to see who's going to get in. Going to be a lot of disappointed drivers going home tonight. Going to be a lot of good drivers going home tonight.
Yeah, we're going to see a bunch of guys that may not make the big show. $1,000 on the line. You're going to see a lot of these guys not hold anything back, Chris.
I'd wreck my mama for $1,000.
Oh, dude, I would run my mom into a backstretch wall for $1,000. I'd do it for probably $100 in iRacing, but for $1,000, I absolutely would.
I mean, that's what you got to do, man. It's $1,000.
Yeah, you gotta do exactly what you can do. And as you can see, currently still at the top of the timesheet is Ryan Underwood. He'll start 5th. He's got a little ways to go. He's in the money already.
He's in the money, and like I said, his car owner right now is currently rooting on him. I guarantee you, his car owner is rooting him on.
Yeah, Oh yeah, no, I want to see all my kids do well. Ryan, of course, and then Ethan Toter there you see in the 23 machine. You want to see the team do well, but Ethan's kind of new to iRacing. He was the only rookie in the top 10 after last night at Knoxville in points, which is nothing to sneeze at given the amount of talent here in Mimi's Makings in Motion, DirtFan.com Super Late Model Speedweek, the third annual one of those. We get ready to go not just racing for $1,000, but racing for a $400 points championship over the next couple of nights. We go to Weed Sport tomorrow night. I can't wait for that. I told Wesley this last night. Weed Sport reminds me of a Ponderosa if you take away all the things that make Ponderosa a little bit easier to deal with.
Tell you what, the thing is, what Ryan and Ethan don't know is that they win, you're taking all the money.
I'm not taking all the money, but I'm taking a chunk of the money, Chris. That's important to know. We pay our drivers at Newton Cattle Farms Racing. We take a little cut for the business expenses, but yeah, we take care of our guys. Great team to drive for. If you're looking to make a switch, I don't want to toot my own horn, but beep, beep.
Beep, beep, indeed. All right, tell you what, practice still going on at the moment. Let's get this is going to be a 30-lap LCQ. So, and then top 6 going to go out of that one. Then we're going to have another 30-lapper. And then top 6 go out of that one. 18-car starting field. And checking out some of the chat. Yeah, we understood it did start off a little rocky here, and we got everything figured out. So hopefully the rest of the night is going to be great as we get everything figured out as far as lobbies go, lap-wise, lineups. It's going to be good the rest of the night.
Yeah, we've got a lot of the kinks smoothed out. We're going to put on a good show for you here in this one. Again, 30 laps will be the distance. Whole lot of guys in this one. We'll go through the full lineup here real quick. We'll set it again for you when we get to time for the show to start. James Edens and J.D. Brown on the pole, then Tyler Berry and James Grace in row 2. The teammates, the New Cattle Farms Racing, Ryan Underwood and Ethan Tedder will roll off 5th and 6th. And then you get the 331 of Dustin Hall, the 33 of Richard Murtaugh, and I understand that Murtaugh was taken to the Big Red Trailer, given a good talking to after some conduct between him and J.D. Brown in that first race. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. 5th row is Mason Clark and C.J. Howell, and then Bates and Hans, McCollum, Dersham, Krebs, and the other Hans, the Y8 entry of Bobby Hans, will start shotgun on this 16-car field. Again, 30 laps will be the distance, top 6 where you want to land. Chris, any other storylines we should be watching as we get ready for this first qualifier?
I'm just going to be watching that 6th and final transfer spot to see exactly what's going to go on back there, as you're going to see a lot of beating and banging for that 6th and final transfer spot because everybody wants to get into tonight's main event. And I think I hope this practice isn't going 15 minutes. I have to double check on that one.
Yeah, this practice they could be letting these guys try to run in a green racetrack here, but again, we've talked about this earlier. Lanier has a tendency to go one lane if you overcook it, and so hopefully we'll get this going here in just a moment.
Checking out the chat on the World of Thunder page. It's getting pretty heated in the chat room right now. It's Richard Murtaugh explaining his side of the wreck. Jacob Fields giving his 2 cents, as is Dylan Wilson also giving his 2 cents as well. It's a pretty interesting chat going on.
Two names missing from DirtFan.com Super Late Model Speedweek: Jacob Fields and Dylan Wilson. Wilson, one of the better drivers on the iRacing server. Jacob Fields, also a World Championship driver, the mustached one himself. So it's interesting. We don't have there are some guys missing from the roster of drivers here.
Yeah, and like I said, they're letting their opinions be known in the chat right now. Carla Keel, what's going on here tonight? It started off kind of rocky, Carla, I'm not going to lie, but we've got everything figured out, giving these guys a little practice here before tonight's last chance qualifier. So you're going to be in for some good racing here tonight for the 100-lap, 1,000 to win main events. As, like I said, we've got... Tanner Tomasi throwing his chat room's going to get entertaining for this night's over with. Zach,
right. I'm pulling the chat up. Don't you worry. I'm enjoying somebody dropping heat about weed sport, and you're wrong, and that's fine, but it's okay. You're allowed to be. This is America. I am super excited for all of the racing we're going to get to see here tonight and over the next couple nights. Should be a real good show on hand. Can't say that enough. Always want to thank Stephen McMillian and all the World of Thunder guys, BJ Duvall, everybody who works behind the scenes to make this kind of stuff happen. Of course, big ups to my boy Chuck in the production truck, Cody Wooten. Charles Wooten to some, Chuck to me because I don't care, and then Cody to many, one of the producers here at LSR TV that makes all this awesome stuff happen. Glad I put all that out there for nobody to say anything, everybody. Let's bring our host Wesley Outland back in. If Wes is at his mic as we get ready to while away the minutes here.
I went over to the race control. They are running this practice completely out. By the way, this is going to be a full 15 minutes.
That it is. They're going to run this practice all the way to 15 minutes. Don't understand the reason why, but it is what it is. And again, I was just kind of just trying not to laugh. Yeah, Chuck. So, yeah, Charles doing a phenomenal job on the production work. And, again, this is a fun time. We're glad everybody's enjoying coverage on live sim racing of the 3rd annual DirtFan.com Super Late Model Speed Week. And, by the way, don't forget, coming up October 4th, it is season number 11. Gentlemen, the only thing that I was disappointed about in the update build that iRacing did last week, I was really excited and looking forward to the debut of the big block modifieds, and unfortunately that did not happen. A lot of people figured that with unveiling Weedsport Speedway, the big block modifieds, which is obviously big block modified country at Weedsport, they were going to unveil those cars, and unfortunately that did not happen. But you know, I know, but I wanted to see the big block modifieds racing, though. Our producer, Chuck, says in the background, you don't even have iRacing, Wesley, so why are you disappointed? I wanted to announce some big block modified races.
That's fair. I have seen big blocks in person one time. I think I was 13 or 14 years old.
Oh, they're awesome.
Followed the Summer Nationals tour with my dad, who used to work for Dan Schleeper back in the day. There's a name drop for the old heads in the crowd. The Wisconsin Wild Man.
In Wisconsin.
Yes, sir. Him and Bill were good friends of the family, and we did some work for them, and I got to follow all but I think I did 30 or 29 of like 33 Summer Nationals races one summer. I got to go to Owatonna, Minnesota for the Gopher 50, which I believe Scott Bloomquist won. And then they had big block modifieds.
2002, wasn't it?
I believe it was. Yeah, so I've been 12.
Did you go to Twin Cities that year?
Probably.
That was the night when the Wallace's hauler burned down.
Yeah, I was.
That's right. It was.
Yeah, I was behind the mic for that deal. That was crazy.
Oh, I thought you were about to say you were behind the arson of that deal.
No. It's always so wild, we get to talk about it. We wax poetic because we got like 5 minutes and nothing to do, and I can talk for days. It's cool to announce races with Chris because I remember growing up, and Brownstown's only like an hour and change from my house on the other side of Louisville. And
this is where you make me feel like an old man, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I feel like at Brownstown you were a kid, and then I was just a younger kid, and now we're like both adults. And so I remember listening to Chris and James announce races at Brownstown, and so it's awesome to be involved in this deal where I get to listen to a guy who's like one of my childhood heroes, and I get to work with him. So it's really cool because I always wanted to do this kind of stuff, but the one dirt track around here was Bluegrass Speedway in Bardstown, and there's nothing to announce there. So
I technically was a kid when I started announcing I was 20 when I started announcing in Brownstown. So yeah.
Yeah, so I mean it was, but it's cool to get to do this. It's been cool to get to work with Wes. Another big name in race broadcasting. Guy goes all over the country, and I just sit in my office and just outside of Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and fart around into a USB microphone for a couple hours on a weeknight. It's a good time.
We got some funny stuff happening in the chat room right now. Tanner Tomasi, Dylan Wilson sucks, dude. Which was met with an immediate heart emoji from Dylan Wilson. Tanner goes, JK, love you.
Hey guys, somebody else we're missing from Speed Weeks, and I'm kind of disappointed. Dylan Hauser.
We are missing.
Because I figured he would have showed up for.
We are missing Dylan Hauser.
Yeah.
We are missing Tanner Tomasi, Jordan Casey, Dylan Wilson, Jacob Fields, all hanging out in the live stream chat. The Kool-Aid Man, Dylan Wilson. One of the best UMP modified drivers on iRacing. I don't think we can take that away from him, even if you do think he sucks. Yeah, it's. I'm usuly not in the chat on during these streams because I have the attention span of a squirrel, and so there's giggles. And if I start paying attention to that, paying attention to that, it gets I lose track of everything, and so I'm gonna have to close it out when the race starts here in just a second. But thanks everybody for tuning in.
We're just kind of pantomiming right now, just trying to fill in dead space. So
just
for sure,
vamping.
definitely.
Just the script says vamp, Wes, and this is what you get. That's what.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, gentlemen, when we drop the green flag, these last chance qualifier races, I think they're going to be explosive. There's only 6 spots are up for grabs, only 12 more positions in this event, and Katie bar the door. I think we're going to see a good show for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Trevor Fitz is now joined into the roasting. Dylan Wilson is slow.
Yeah, that feels subjective, but I feel like it's a matter of opinion at this point. Tanner Folds tuned into the live stream. He's watching server number 1. He'll be in, I believe, in server number 2. We got don't think we're gonna have this 130 lap qualifier and then just like that's all we're gonna do, because the next one coming up has Alex Bergeron, Drew Hopkins, Tanner Folds, Zach McSwain, Dylan Fox, the little head knocker Trent Ivey, Chase Hardy, Eric Scalf. I mean, some world championship drivers, some guys with some real life racing experience. Chase Hardy been picking up some go-kart wins out in Winchester, Virginia. Out there, he's starting to follow in his older brother Kyle's shoes just a little bit.
Yeah. Speaking of Tanner Folds in the chat, he says Zach Newton is slower.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm like molasses running uphill on a cold day, bud.
Wow.
That's why I started playing disc golf. Disc golf is I throw a frisbee a little bit.
Disc golf. Yeah.
It's a good walk. It's a good hike around the park here in town.
It is.
So I had started playing disc golf because ultimate frisbee is way too much fast running.
Yeah, my girlfriend Megan introduced me to disc golf. I was, just kind of one day walking on the trail, going for a little, Sunday walk, and she's like, "Hey, I'll be right back. We're gonna play a game." And I was like, "Okay, we're gonna play a game in the woods. What are we gonna play?"
That's never gone well for me historically.
You went snipe hunting, didn't you?
Oof. I've been snipe hunting once.
I'm not sure the validity of this. Jordan Casey goes. Dylan Wilson got into a horseback riding accident, broke 3 toes. He'll be back soon.
Wow. Well, guys, the thing is this: practice is about to officially conclude. Clock ticks down to 0, and this warm-up is about to be over, and we're about to have these hooligan races. As these 2 30-lap last chance races will take the top 6. It will decide who will be joining the back of the pack, the final 12 positions for the Mimis Makings in Motion Nationals. 100 laps, 1,000 to win after these last chance races. Gentlemen, it's time for B-Main number 1. Let's give them the starting lineup.
Absolutely.
B-Main number 1 coming up. James Edens on the pole. JD Brown going to be outside of him in row number 1.
It's the bad boy, baby. Hagen Sorensen in the 45 machine. He will start in 3rd place, coming to you out of Harlan, Iowa. Outside of him is James Grace in the 269. He comes to you out of Fallon, Nevada for $1 Million Motorsports.
Row 3 on the inside, it is Ryan Underwood in the 46 at Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Outside of him, Ethan Toder in that number 23 machine, coming to us out of Knoxville, Kentucky.
Columbia, Missouri's Dustin Hall will roll off 7th, the inside of row number 4 in the 331 machine. He comes again out of Columbia, Missouri for Slick Motorsports. Outside of him, starting 8th is the Little Rocket, Richard Murtaugh Jr. in the 33. He's hailing from Fulton, New York.
Starting 9th on the grid, and the number 22 machine out of Clare, Michigan, it's going to be Mason Clarks. Starting outside of him, it's going to be CJ Howell in the 2 out of Ball, Louisiana.
And shotgun on the field, row number 6. The inside is Kevin Hans in the 28 machine. He comes to you out of Lamont, Missouri. And to his outside shotgun on the field, the 99 entry, it's Anthony Bates out of Waterford, Pennsylvania.
I believe we got McCollum and Dersham as well, and supposed to be out there is Krebs and Hans, but I don't think they're going to make the call. So 6 car is going to go here on this one. I thought there were going to be 30 lappers, but it looks like there was 40 on the clock there.
Well, that could change things just a little bit if 40 laps is the distance. Hope these guys made fuel adjustment calculations. The pace truck is in. James Eden brings them to green.
Here we go, underway. James Eden's out front, taking a look at that top 6. That's what we're going to be looking for out of this one. They're going to go into tonight's 100 lapper here at Lanier, and they've already got a lot of beating and banging going on here out of turn at number 3 and 4. Eden's going to lead lap 1.
Eden's out in front. Barry Sorensen to the inside of J.D. Brown for second. You see Underwood, Toter back there. They're battling with James Grace and J.D. Brown. Keep an eye on J.D. Brown. Also an eye on Richard Murtaugh. They had a little altercation in that first 40-lap A main, and we'll have to see if any of that bad blood carries over, Chris.
Out of turn number 1 and 2 down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Edens, Brown, Underwood 1, 2, and 3. Now Underwood back to that second spot. Out of turn 4 down the front straightaway. It's still Edens, Underwood, Brown, Sorensen, Toter, and James Grace now to that 6th and final transfer position. 4 in.
Toter stuck in the middle there, back to 6 now as Murtaugh gets to the inside. James Grace on the high side. You see Toter give James Grace a little bit of quarter panel. He's going to pull clear of him and start going to work on Richard Murtaugh there on the outside. Up front, though, Eden's still out in front. Underwood and J.D. Brown almost side by side there down the back straightaway.
Eden's out front. Got a good little gap there between he and Underwood. Underwood, they are currently sitting comfortably into the show right now. It's Edens, Underwood, Brown, Sorensen, Murtaugh, Toter. That 6th spot now. Dustin Hall into that 7th spot. 1 spot out right now as they're fanning them out right now.
They fan out just a little bit. You see Toter ripping the lip with Dustin Hall in tow. He's starting to catch up to Barry Sorensen, also running that high line. Murtaugh, the only man on the bottom. If the bottom goes away, Murtaugh might get freight trained out of the show in this one. Currently sitting in 5th. Toter currently holds down that last transfer spot as Murtaugh and Baby Hagan go side by side.
Out of turn number 1 and 2 down that back straightaway. Sorensen now back up to the 4th spot as Ethan Toter is right behind them trying to make something happen, trying to move up through the field. Dustin Hall still currently sits 1 spot out looking in at the moment as we are working a lap 9 of 40 coming to lap 10 here.
Yeah, the battle on the bubble is the best battle on the racetrack. As you see Toter and Sorensen touch just a little bit, that's going to let Murtaugh pull into 4th. Toter may be a little faster than Sorensen, but currently can't get around him. Sorensen making that 45 entry 2 or 3 lanes wide sometimes.
This track's starting to widen out just a tick as we roll here out of turn number 3 and 4 down the front straightaway. 3 wide back there behind the 45 of Sorensen. That is the battle for that 6th and final transfer spot. Toter in 23. Hall and Grace right behind them trying to make something happen.
We've stayed caution free so far, working lap 11 now, working towards lap 12. You can see Sorensen looking to the outside of Murtaugh. Plenty of racing room up there. Ethan Toter in tow, currently on the bubble in that 6th and final spot. But you can see Dustin Hall as we go on board, I believe, with Baby Hagan Sorensen. James Eden still out front. Underwood, Brown, Murtaugh, Sorensen, and Toter, your top 6.
There they come right there. You see it. It is Toter right there behind Sorensen. We're taking a look at the back end of him. You see the Dryden sponsored car there as James Grace trying to poke his nose underneath. As we take a look right there, there's Grace on the bottom of the racetrack on that 269 machine, riding right there in that catfish line, doing his best Earl Pearson Jr. impression there.
Absolutely. One name we haven't really mentioned, Mason Clark. He's currently back at 9th. Hasn't really shown a lot of life yet in this one. Could be biding his time a little bit, maybe seeing how the track shapes up or changes before he makes his move to get one of those 6 transfer spots. Again, that's like honey up front that you're trying to get your hands on. James Eden's now over a second out in front of Underwood, and then it's about half a second back to J.D. Brown.
Checking out Toter there in that 6th and final transfer spot as well. Edens and Underwood 1 and 2. Chaz Puchinski rooting on Ryan Underwood there in the chat room. He also said me and you were legends, by the way, Zach. So there you go. We got Chaz's approval.
Chad's a bad judge of character, Chris. You see Ethan Toter still the focus as he's now dealing with Dustin Hall for Slick Simsport, new driver signed to that team, I believe, just leading up to Speedweeks. Toter going to look to the middle of the racetrack. He starts to reel in Sorensen just a little bit. James Edens has walked off now almost 1.3 seconds ahead of Underwood, and then about 3/10 back to Brown, and then a long way back to Richard Murtaugh and the rest of this field.
Yeah, Underwood right now currently sitting. Oh, look out. Murtaugh almost tapped the wall there as Sorensen looks back underneath him down into turn number 1 and 2. Down. Actually, that is turn number 3 and 4, excuse me. This linear layout gets kind of confusing as both straightaways look about the same. One just does not have a grandstand on it. That's the big difference.
Absolutely. Does have the big kind of drive-in style parking lot hill up there on the back straightaway. You see the grandstand will come, well, almost into view. There you see the grandstand from the top of the press box, our vantage point here high above Linear Raceplex. As Richard Murtaugh has course corrected, he is still holding on to 4th. Hagen Sorensen still runs 5th. Ethan Toder 6th, but Dustin Hall has given Toder all he wants and then some.
Yeah, they are trying to fight themselves into the show right now. You see Toder in that number 23 machine, Dustin Hall in the 331. As this track, it mentioned, it gets hard to pass on after a while, and that's what we're seeing here in this first last chance qualifier as they roll down the front straightaway. Edens and Underwood sitting at 1.2 seconds back as Hall tried to look underneath Toder for that final transfer spot. Couldn't do it. He'll try to dive underneath them this time.
If Toder can keep it off the wall, he was fast through 3 and 4 around that high side last time. He does it again, running right up on the lip. You can see turn 1 and 2 not nearly as widened out. Toder's going to look to the outside of Sorensen. He has to get on the brakes. That's going to let Hall get around him. That's not what you wanted to see if you're Ethan Toder. He's not falling out of that transfer spot. He's going to have to fight hard to get back in, Chris.
Yeah, he'll try to dive back underneath Dustin Hall here out of turn number 3 and 4. Almost got contact there coming out of 2. Toder got a little sideways there as he went down the back straightaway. Lost a lot of ground there to the 331 of Dustin Hall. We got 15 laps remaining. He's going to have to try to get back up on the horse there and catch back up because he is currently out of the show right now.
Absolutely. Ethan Toder back there now in 7th. Dustin Hall's taking that final transfer spot. They're both running the high side. Sorensen slides up off the bottom of the racetrack to try to block Hall. Hall's going to look to the inside. You see Toder starts to reel Sorensen back in as Hall throws the slider. He's going to lose a little ground. Toder's going to make it back up. Murtaugh starting to drive away.
Murtaugh in that 4th position. You see the gap between he and Sorensen. Now Hall trying to, he's putting Sorensen there on the hot seat, and there's Toder, and they make contact out of 2 down the back straightaway. It's starting to get hairy back there for that final transfer spot.
Absolutely. Credit to Ethan Toder for woeing up and not driving through Sorensen or Hall there on the back straightaway off of turn 2 because he got an absolute rocket of a run. You see him suck up to Sorensen's quarter panel there off of 2. He's going to go to the inside. May see a big slider coming here from the Toder. No, we do not. He stays to the inside. Almost has Sorensen, though, down the front straightaway.
Yeah, here they come out of turn number 1 and 2. Toder on the bottom of the racetrack. Sorensen still sitting there in that 6th and final transfer position. Up front, though, it has been all James Edens. 1.1 seconds the advantage. J.D. Brown sits back there in the 3rd spot behind Underwood. As we have got lap traffic there as Hans he's up there in the mix. He's just going to get out of the way. And there you see the gap between 1st and 2nd. There's Edens in 52 and Underwood there in that 2nd spot.
Yeah, we have stayed green for 31 laps of this one. Now working on lap 32. You see James Edens out in front. We haven't talked about him a whole lot. He's just been quietly dominating out in front. I'm sure his sponsors would love a little airtime for the guy in the lead. Unfortunately, the battle for the bubble is where all the action is. As James Edens drives back away with this one, you see all the distance back to Ryan Underwood there in 2nd. And then J.D. Brown looking to Underwood's outside with 8 to go.
Laps clicking down here in this first last chance qualifier. We have got another 40 lapper coming up next. Then the 100 lap main event as the battle for that 6th and final transfer spot. Hall and Sorensen and Toder's lost a lot of ground here as they come down the front straightaway.
Yeah, the tires seem to have gone away on Ethan Toder's machine. He is losing ground back to 7th. All he can really hope for is that one of those guys makes a mistake and he's able to jump back up and get back involved. Mason Clark also currently on the outside looking in, as is James Grace, who started, I believe, in 4th in this one. He's lost a lot of ground. You see Toder running the bottom. Everybody else seems to have gone to the high side, at least in 1 and 2. Murtaugh going to run the slider line and take Dustin Hall with him.
Trying to as they go down the front straightaway. Laps looking down here as we roll out of turn number 1 and 2. Murtaugh, Hall, and Sorensen. All these guys are safely into the show right now, so they don't have anything to worry about right now unless a massive catastrophe happens because Clark is now back there in that 7th spot, pretty far back.
Yeah, Clark's got a long way to go to catch Sorensen with just 3 laps remaining. You can see Murtaugh comfortably there in 4th. He's got a little bit of gap back to the still battling Barry Sorensen and Dustin Hall. We'll have to see if that comes to anything as Sorensen rips the lip around the top side, gets up in the fluff there around 1 and 2. Murtaugh to the inside with Hall. Sorensen almost brushes the wall. He's running a line with very little margin forever. Toter has dropped all the way back to 10th. He may have parked it in this one, Chris.
Too, a lot of these guys are going to be logging a lot of laps, especially these guys that have made it through the entire qualifying process in the first qualifier. They're going to run upwards of 170 laps tonight. And it's Eden's winning this one. Underwood second, Brown, Murtaugh, Hall, and Hagen Sorensen getting that 6th and final transfer spot.
What a race we saw there. Green the whole way in this one. Say what you want about sim racing. That's a great display of driving from these guys. You see James Eden's your winner. Ryan Underwood second. J.D. Brown, Richard Murtaugh, Dustin Hall, Barry Sorensen will go to the big show. Chris, where do the rest of the guys go?
Home to transfer to the trailer to try to get another week.
Absolutely. They can try it again tomorrow night, make the long drive up to Weedsport, New York for that race. We're going to take a commercial break here in just a second. I don't think we're doing Victory Lane interviews since these are last chance qualifiers. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll get the servers switched over, get ready for our second lobby, and then we will get you back up and running. Wes, anything you want to add to that one?
Well, I know you got to be happy. The Weed Eater's in. Ryan Underwood, he transferred in for second, but a good job for the driver out of Petaluma, California, of James Edens, and very impressed. 40 laps, flag to flag.
Yeah, great display of driving from all these guys. Would have liked to have seen Toter get in, another one of my team drivers, but can't be too mad. He fought hard, did his best. We just didn't have his best stuff tonight, but we got Ryan Underwood in. He looks to start 9th in this battle for $1,000, and with 100 laps the distance, he's got plenty of time to get there.
Yeah, it should be a good one. And by the way, that's C-Main presented by LMP Kitchen and Bath Designs. Quick break. When we come back, we'll get ready for the final preliminary of this evening for the KRM Digital Marketing Last Chance Race number 2. It's all part of your coverage of the 3rd annual DirtFan.com Super Late Model Speed Week for the Mimi's Makings in Motion World of Thunder on your home for sim racing, LSR TV.
ETE Reman is the world's best remanufacturer of transmissions for import and domestic cars and trucks. Based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, our customers are repair shops, auto parts stores, dealerships, and distributors. And with 6 nationwide warehouses, we're where and when you need us. So when you're looking for a transmission that is like new, only better, instill confidence and install ETE Reman.
Right in the middle of the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen, in reverse with cars going.
We're based out of West Monroe, Louisiana. We do custom T-shirts, racing. We'll do any shirt. We'll do schools, churches, fundraisers. We do a ton of event shirts, as you can see on our board here, all around our banner. Personalized. I mean, we'll do anything. It doesn't matter to us. We got the custom rugs. We use all the, top quality shirts, inks and everything. Hoodies, hats. We do embroidered hats, embroidered shirts. Just you can call us for anything. We do offer the bag and fold, to where you can receive them and they're already labeled and tagged and bagged, ready to give out to your customers. So you just call us and just tell us, hey, this is what we're looking at doing, and if we're going to put the car on there, it is 125 quantity minimum. If it's without the car, it's 60 quantity minimum. That's strictly on the racing stuff. If it's a business or something, if you race on Texas shirts, it's a little bit differently. You can call us. It just depends on your quantity and ink colors. Everything is hand drawn. I mean, everything. We don't Photoshop anything onto a shirt or anything like that. Everything that we go through, everything is drawn, and which is the reason for the art fees. We do have several graphic artists that draw for us, and they're really good. So what we do is on any package that you do, we can mix and match. We can do any colors. You can do purple, red, blue, green, and do the rest black. It doesn't matter to us. With your design on there, we can do hoodies. We can do hoodies, long sleeve shirts, T-shirts, tank tops. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's almost limitless what you can do, and you can put all that together in that package to make that minimum requirements. They can call us 318-278-7191, or they can email us at bulletprooftees@yahoo.com, or they can go to the website bulletprooftees.com.
We're off and racing for 300 laps tonight, 300 laps tomorrow night. Look at car number 110. He said, look at me, I'm held the lead. He is right in the middle of the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome back to Lanier Raceplex as the Mimis Makings in Motion Nationals continue along. There's one more preliminary left to go, but unfortunately, a driver or two got left out in the server. So for that reason, we have to do another reset. With that being said, we'll step away. Thanks some of our sponsors that make live sim racing possible, and we'll be back with more in a moment.
Let's go! It's in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, we're off and racing for 300 laps tonight, 300 laps tomorrow night. Look at car number 110. He said, look at me, I'm out the lead. He is right in the middle of the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen. In reverse with cars
We're based out of West Monroe, Louisiana. We do custom T-shirts, racing. We'll do any shirt. We'll do schools, churches, fundraisers. We do a ton of event shirts, as you can see on our board here, all around our banner. Personalized. I mean, we'll do anything. it doesn't matter to us. We got the custom rugs. We use all the, top quality shirts, inks and everything, hoodies, hats. We do embroidered hats, embroidered shirts. Just you can call us for anything. We do offer the bag and fold to where you can receive them and they're already labeled and tagged and bagged, ready to give out to your customer and stuff. So you can just call us and just tell us, hey, this is what we're looking at doing. And if we're going to put the car on there, it is 125 quantity minimum. If it's without the car, it's 60 quantity minimum. That's strictly on the racing stuff. If it's a business or something, if you race on Texas shirts, it's a little bit differently. You can call us. It just depends on your quantity and ink colors. Everything is hand drawn. I mean, everything. We don't Photoshop anything onto a shirt or anything like that. Everything that we go through, everything is drawn, and which is the reason for the art fees. We do have several graphic artists that draw for us, and they're really good. So what we do is on any.
Welcome back to Lanier. As you notice, the clock is ticking down a lot faster for the drivers of the World of Thunder iRacing League for the Mimis Makings in Motion 3rd Annual DirtFan.com Super Late Model Speed Week on your home for sim racing, LSR TV. Charles Wooten doing a phenomenal job. We're going to be making a couple of more changes to get everybody situated in the right place for that final 40-lap last chance race. And again, we want to thank all of the sponsors. We'll do that when we come back, and we'll go back to some more sponsors that make it happen on live sim racing. By the way, don't forget, tomorrow night, we're at Weedsport for night number 4 of Speed Week, and followed by that, the Swag Outlaw Super Late Model Series from Richmond. More in a moment from Lanier.
Let's go! It's in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, we're off and racing for 300 laps tonight, 300 laps tomorrow night. Look at car number 110. He said, look at me, I'm out the lead. He is right in the middle of the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen.
We're based out of West Monroe, Louisiana. We do custom T-shirts, racing. We'll do any shirt. We'll do schools, churches, fundraisers. We do a ton of event shirts, as you can see on our board here, all around our banner. Personalized. I mean, we do anything. It doesn't matter to us. We got the custom rugs. We use all the, top quality shirts, inks and everything. Hoodies, hats. We do embroidered hats, embroidered shirts. Just you can call us for anything. We do offer the bag and fold, to where we, you can receive them and they're already labeled and tagged and bagged, ready to give out to your customers. So you just call us and just tell us, hey, this is what we're looking at doing, and if we're going to put the car on there, it is 125 quantity minimum. If it's without the car, it's 60 quantity minimum. That's strictly on the racing stuff. If it's a business or something, if you race on Texas shirts, it's a little bit differently. You can call us. It just depends on your quantity and ink colors. Everything is hand drawn. I mean, everything. We don't Photoshop anything onto a shirt or anything like that. Everything that we go through, everything is drawn, and which is the reason for the art fees. Because we do have several graphic artists that draw for us, and they're really good. So what we do is on any package that you do, we can mix and match. We can do any colors. You can do purple, red, blue, green, and do the rest black. It doesn't matter to us. With your design on there, we can do hoodies. We can do hoodies, long sleeve shirts, T-shirts, tank tops. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's almost limitless what you can do, and you can put all that together in that package to make that minimum requirements. They can call us 318-278-7191, or they can email us at bulletprooftees@yahoo.com, or they can go to the website bulletprooftees.com.
Let's go! It's in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, we're off and racing for 300 laps tonight, 300 laps tomorrow night. Look at car number 110. He said, look at me, I'm out the lead. He is right in the middle of the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen.
We're based out of West Monroe, Louisiana. We do custom T-shirts, racing. We'll do any shirt. We'll do schools, churches, fundraisers. We do a ton of event shirts, as you can see on our board here, all around our banner. Personalized. I mean, we do anything. It doesn't matter to us. We got the custom rugs. We use all the top quality shirts, inks and everything. Hoodies, hats. We do embroidered hats, embroidered shirts. Just you can call us for anything. We do offer the bag and fold, to where you can receive them and they're already labeled and tagged and bagged, ready to give out to your customer and stuff. So you just call us and just tell us, hey, this is what we're looking at doing, and if we're going to put the car on there, it is 125 quantity minimum. If it's without the car, it's 60 quantity minimum. That's strictly on the racing stuff. If it's a business or something, if you race on Texas shirts, it's a little bit differently. You can call us. It just depends on your quantity and ink colors. Everything is hand drawn. I mean, everything. We don't Photoshop anything onto a shirt or anything like that. Everything that we go through, everything is drawn, and which is the reason for the art fees. We do have several graphic artists that draw for us, and they're really good. So what we do is on any package that you do, we can mix and match. We can do any colors. You can do purple, red, blue, green, and do the rest black. It doesn't matter to us. With your design on there, we can do hoodies. We can do hoodies, long sleeve shirts, T-shirts, tank tops. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's almost limitless what you can do, and you can put all that together in that package to make that minimum requirements. They can call us 318-278-7191, or they can email us at bulletprooftees at yahoo.com, or they can go to the website bulletprooftees.com.
Welcome back here for coverage of the live sim racing action of the third annual DirtFan.com Super Late Model Speedweek with the Mimis Makings in Motion World of Thunder. I'm Wesley Outland, Chris Nunn. We are down an announcer.
Yeah.
Because our Kentucky man, Mr. Zach Newton, has decided to now announce golf. He's playing golf. He's playing golf. We're practicing as announcers during commercial breaks.
Wes, I'm trying to putt for birdie here. If you could keep it down, I'd really appreciate it, bud.
He's ready to go.
He shanked his last putt on the last hole.
Let's see what he can do. He's 4 under par.
God, it's like an 80-something foot putt. I might as well have pulled out driver for that one.
And by the way, folks, on behalf of everybody at World of Thunder, we apologize for the delay. There was a couple of hiccups moving drivers from into the server, out of the server, trying to find the right server. But I think a third time's a charm. They will find it. But unfortunately, gentlemen, I have got to leave you because I have other announcer obligations with Mr. Brett Willer and UDTV. And, of course, remember, Ultimate Dirt TV will have coverage October 4th for the 11th season of the Mimis Making in Motion World of Thunder iRacing League, and featuring the Greats Productions Modifieds, the Next Level Design Pro Late models, the Dirt Fan Super Late models like you're seeing on LSR TV for Speedweek, and the Loud Pedal Productions Sprint Cars. But for right now, gentlemen, we'll go back to y'all playing golf and get ready for this last chance race and then the 100-lap race. And I'm wondering if my race will be done, gentlemen, before you guys finish up, and I'll come back and join you if it is.
It might be.
Yeah, we are on an 8 a.m. curfew tomorrow.
If they finish up in time, I'll come back and join you to the home stretch. If not, it's always fun working with y'all. See you tomorrow night for Weed Sport.
That's all right. We said we got to be done by 8 a.m. or else it's going to boot us off anyway.
Well, unfortunately, I work from home, so if we have to stay all night long, we can. We'll just cue up that Lionel Richie music. Oh, so we can actually stay until Thursday if we need be. We keep playing your golf there, Zach.
Well, I will, Wes. I'm 21 under, so I'm shooting a pretty hot tournament so far.
The whole dude's got his set on simple.
Hey, Race Control would like to say a few words. Charles Wooten, Cody Wooten, Chuck, as Zach calls you. What's your take of tonight at Lanier so far? Oh, I'm
BJ
sorry.
Duvall's in the house.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're going to throw it to our race control.
Race director, Will Duvall. Will, what's up, cowboy?
Hey, I just wanted to give a shout out to our fans, the ones that have stuck around and are still watching through a lot of technical difficulties. We're doing a lot of new things, new to us, new to iRacing in general with this week. So I want to thank everybody for sticking around and watching, and apologize for the big waits that we've been having technical difficulties with the servers, trying to do new things that I don't think iRacing itself is really even used to. So thank you everybody for sticking around and watching, and we're going to put on an awesome show, and I hope you guys stick around to watch the feature.
Well, I will tell you,
Will, I tell you what though, before Wesley closes off, it's Sizemore's fault. It's nobody else's fault.
It's all Dustin's fault. It's Sizemore's fault. Okay, blame it on him. No, in all seriousness though, Will, thank you very much for that. We did let everybody know that you guys did apologize, and we're a lot of new things that's going on with iRacing for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to step on out of here once again. Speedweek sponsors, including tonight for the Mimi's Makings and Motion Nationals, include Mimi's Makings and Motion, Hans Performance, Mike's Crazy Paints, KRM Digital Marketing, Swag, E-Wraps and Graphics. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern on LSR TV and CRN, coverage of the Swag Outlaw Super Late Model Series from Richmond. Fold Graphics, DirtFan.com, Envision Custom Graphics, Dirt Clash Super Street Series, Grace Productions, LMP Kitchen and Bath Designs, Scalp Race Wraps, Warrior Logistics, Loud Pedal Productions, Richard Rocket Setups, giving a hard luck setups package for the BNC main drivers, and of course also UDTV, giving $10 to the slowest qualifier of the evening. So gentlemen, I'll let y'all take it away. If it finishes up with my race and I can get back in time, I'll join you again, but have fun, boys. Oh yes,
That's
we
right.
also want to thank Sonic for breakfast in case this does go into the wee hours of the morning.
Meanwhile, Zach Newton has just shanked his tee shot on 15.
Well, I'm on 18, but I did just shank my tee shot. It was not the distance we wanted.
He says he's 21 under, but he's got it set on super easy.
I don't actually. I also bogeyed 16. I'm really not having a good time right now.
Man, you're such a hack on the golf course, I'm telling you. We got about 6 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. Here in this second qualifying practice, Alex Bergeron and Jerry Flippo is going to be your front row for this bad boy. Drew Hopkins and Brett Rolls will be on row 2. Freeberg and Combs in row number 3. Fox and McSwain in row 4. Jennifer Hans, Tanner Folds in row 5. If Folds is still awake, he's in the chat room right now. Trent Ivey, I don't know what's going on with Trent Ivey right now. He's supposed to be racing this event, but he's set fast time at Lawrence, South Carolina in a real race car, so I don't know what's going on with the Ivy machine. He's supposed to start 11th, and then Barry starts 12th, Batiste 13th, Hardy 14th, and Scalf 15th. So, yeah, it's the case of the missing Ivy right now, I believe, because he's not in here.
I was going to say, is he in the lobby? I saw him, I thought, in the first one.
Yeah, he raced earlier.
Maybe he's got the rig set up in the hauler, you know. I mean, it's kind of a wild thing to be doing, but if you can get internet out there, Lawrence, why not? I'll tell you what to watch in this one is going to be Chase Hardy. He's got a long way to go to get to one of those 6 transfer spots, but he's currently 5th quick. He's definitely got the pace to get there, but will he have the time? Will the track hold up to allow him to make a run, Chris? That's the big question.
Yeah, with this track, it gets a lot slicker as it goes on, and it's been locked down the first couple of races earlier on Sunday. So hopefully this one's going to be a little better this time around. We got 100 laps to do it though.
Yeah, long way to go in this feature race, a century the distance, and we're gonna see a good battle. I think we're going to have a lot of fun here over the next 140 laps of racing. we'll get the field lined up and get ready to go here in just a couple minutes, Chris. About 4.5 minutes left of practice in this one.
All right, everybody's still up there in practice right now. Looks like Flippo's got the fastest time in this little mini practice session here. Fox and Bergeron, and we talked about Weed Sport coming up tomorrow. You are as pumped up as anybody for that one. It's going to be fun to watch that race.
Yeah, a lot of unknowns about Weed Sport so far, and I personally am very excited for it. I think, man, I said this earlier, and you didn't really pick up on it enough to talk about it. I said it to Wesley last night, and I don't think he found it wholly remarkable. It reminds me so much of Ponderosa Speedway here in Kentucky in the way it's shaped, but all the things that make the pond a little more forgiving, Weed Sport doesn't have.
I can see that.
It's a lot thinner than Weed Sport. It's a lot thinner than Ponderosa. I don't think it's quite as high banked as Ponderosa. It's very unforgiving. So you're going to see some guys struggle tomorrow night that might not normally struggle. I'll put it to you that way.
That turn 1 and 2 is about as unique as you'll find anywhere in the country.
That turn 1 and 2. Brett Wheeler, one of our producers here, is also a pretty avid sprint car racer, and he was turning laps while he was honing in some overlay stuff the other night, and he tried to move that turn 1 wall about 4 feet farther from where it is now with the right rear of a sprint car, and you just can't do it.
No, those walls are unforgiving. They won't move.
And you're going to see somebody probably lay into one pretty good tomorrow night. Also, I will tell you, Envision Custom Graphics, which is my wrap company, we're sponsoring, I think, QuickTime.
Cheap plug.
Tomorrow night. Yeah, cheap plug. Well, we are one of the sponsors, so I can say it. We're sponsoring a wrap, I believe, to QuickTime tomorrow night. I need to go back and look at what I wanted it to be. The first guy who plows into the turn 1 wall gets a free wrap. In a heat race, but unfortunately Steve doesn't share my sense of humor and wouldn't let me sponsor that as we watch Chase Hardy, who's actually one of my drivers in an Envision Custom Graphics wrap, hone in his setup in this one, currently 5th quick. We talked about him earlier, Chris. He's going to start in, I believe, row 7. He's going to have a long way to go.
Yeah, we'll see exactly who makes the call for this B-Mainer's second qualifier, actually. And it looks like we got 14 cars on the racetrack at the moment practicing. So hopefully we can get this one done and steal a word from Brett like you did earlier. Done and dusted.
Done and dusted. Absolutely. Should be a good race. We went caution-free in our last one, so I look to see if we can repeat that here in this one.
All right, just a minute 30 left to go here in this final practice session here in this last chance qualifier. And like I said, everybody's going to get ready to go for that 100-lapper tonight for $1,000 to win. It's going to be worth the wait for somebody, as they're going to be pocketing $1,000. So we'll let you listen to some of the sights and sounds of the last minute of practice here. We're going to lay out here for a second and rest our voices for the next minute. Let you listen to some of the sights and sounds here at Lanier. All right, practice is complete for this last chance qualifier number 2. And we'll go ahead and go over your lineup one more time. Front row, Alex Bergeron and Jerry Flippo. Row 2, Drew Hopkins and Brett Rolls. Row 3 is going to be Mr. Freeberg and Chad Combs. Row 4, Fox and McSwain. Row 5, Hans and Folds. Row 6, Ivy, or the driver known as Ivy. We're not sure who's in that car right now. And
if anyone.
If anybody. In row number 6, Batiste and Hardy. In row 7, and Scalf. In row number 8. It's going to be the way they go. As my goodness, Zach, that golfer does look just like you.
I told you, the create a player feature in PGA 2K21 is very deep, and I was able to absolutely nail my visage in this one. But not important right now. What is important right now is the 40-lap distance. We're about to go in this one. Bergeron, Flippo, Hopkins, and Rowles will start up front. Your top 4, Freeberg and Combs, also starting in the transfer positions. However, again, quick in practice was Chase Hardy around 5th quick, so he's got the speed to get there. Tanner Folds, despite being a person of small stature who has contributed nothing of value to the world thus far in his sad little life. I love that kid. I'm just messing with him. Has got a long way to go. I love Tanner. Tanner cracks me up. Tanner spends time in our Discord server. He tests with Ryan and some of the other guys sometimes, and he'll come in there and really just lay into me, even though I've never really talked to him, but he'll absolutely roast me. He roasted me in the Facebook live chat earlier. He said I was slow. He said I was slower than Dylan Wilson, which is probably true, but that's kind of a high bar to set, I feel like, Chris.
Yeah, you got to set the high bar here. And Patricia Payne, hello. She's watching in the chat room as well. So we get set to go in this 40-lap last chance qualifier. Zach, 6 go to the main event. The rest go home and going to be unhappy the rest of the night.
Well, they get to start practicing for weed sport while some of their counterparts go racing for 100 laps and $1,000. As Bergeron will lead the field to green. Chris, take us there.
All right, Alex Bergeron and Jerry Flippo going to be your front. Oh, good start there by Bergeron. Flippo, though, got hung out to dry as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Bergeron, Hopkins, 1 and 2. Flippo, Rolls, Combs in that last transfer spot. I'm going to cheer on Chad Combs because he's right down the road from me.
Absolutely. Well, we'll have to see if he can make it into the big show. Bergeron all alone out in front. Drew Hopkins gets to 2nd, and you got to like Hopkins' chance to hold on. Dylan Fox, though, currently back in 5th. Close to the bubble. We are under yellow.
Caution out for the first time. Bobby Huntley bringing out the caution there in that Y8 machine. Check out our Swaggy Raps and Graphics instant replay here and find out exactly what happened to Mr. Hans as he sits in the pits. No, it was Tyler Berry there in the 500. We're gonna focus here on Mr. Berry.
I believe Chase Hardy gave him the old elephant ear there. Gives them the business as they came through 1 and 2.
A little tough break for them.
So we get down the front straightaway here. Yeah, Berry gets loose, gets into Jennifer Hans, and then checks up, and Chase Hardy has nowhere to go.
All right, going to reset them here, and this 40-lapper laps are counting.
So first race went caution-free. Second race, 4 laps in. We're under yellow. Okay. So Bobby Hans will get the wave around. He actually missed the call to start, but they're going to let him tag the end of the longest line since we're only a couple laps into this one.
He's still on the lead lap, I believe.
Yeah, they're going to let him get his lap back as Bergeron gets ready to bring the field to green. They're under power down the front straightaway. Bergeron, as they go single file. Flippo looks to the inside of Freeberg. That's for 3rd, Chris. And we've got a battle shaping up here between those two.
Here they come. It's going to be Flippo underneath Freeberg. Freeberg up top in that 171 machine as they roll down the front straightaway. It is still Flippo there underneath him. Right now, sitting in the 6th and final transfer spot is Rolls. Combs right now sitting in that 7th spot right now. 1 spot out looking in.
Chase Hardy went to the tail of the field on that caution. He lined up 12th. He's already moved up to 10th spot. He's coming to the front. Was very quick in practice. We'll have to see what he can do with Jennifer Hans and Tanner Folds back there in front of him as we are still under green in this one. Hardy to the bottom, Hans to the outside. Hardy's looking hooked up down there.
Down the front straightaway they go, is trying to keep our eye on Jennifer Hans. She tries to work her way towards the front. She's got to get into the top 6. Right now she currently sits in that 10th spot, running the bottom of the racetrack, clipped the wall there, and she clipped it again, got sideways, and that might do it for her here in this one. She's lost a lot of ground.
Lost a lot of track position, long way to go. You see her back there now racing with Tyler Berry. Berry in the 500 machine up top was involved in that first caution. He's got a great run around the outside. Hans may have some suspension damage. She hit that wall a couple times there on the inside. That pavement is as unforgiving as any Uke tire across the country. Out front, though, still Alex Bergeron, Drew Hopkins, Flippo, Fox, Freeberg, and Rolls, your top 6.
Renee now Freeberg now into the hot seat. Folds now 7th. Got around Combs. Combs and Folds now. Duking it out back there in the 09 machine is Combs. Duking it out back there in that 7th spot. So once again, things get heating up back there in that final transfer.
Chase Hardy coming from the back. He's up to 9th now. He's past Eric Scalf. He's got Folds, Combs, Rouse, and Freebird all in a wad right there in front of him. You can throw a blanket over all 5 of these cars from 5th on back to 10th. To borrow a parlance from my friend Chris Nunn, we've got a battle shaping up here for those last couple transfer spots. 5 guys want that 1 spot, 2 spots that belong to Freeberg and Rolls.
Going to come down that back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Out of turn 4, down the front stretch. Working lap 14 now, completing lap number 15 here. Bergeron still leads. Hopkins, Flippo, 1, 2, and 3. Fox, Freeberg, Chad Combs now into that 4th and final transfer spot as we're 4 wide down the back stretch.
We're 4 wide almost down the back straightaway, and give the big win there to Chase Hardy. He goes from 9th to 8th, looking for 7th. He's going to make another move, Chris. He is ticking them off one by one.
Yeah, Combs got the worst end of that deal. He got dropped all the way back to the 10th, 11th, 12th spot, and he's upside down. Chad Combs is upside down.
Yeah, Combs didn't just get passed. He got passed and then rolled. You're going to see it here on our Swag E-Wraps and Graphics Instant Replay, Chris.
Yeah, he was up in that transfer spot, then got shuffled back a bit. He lost a few spots there. You saw the contact between him and Rolls there. And we're going to keep our eye right here on the 09 machine as he slides underneath Rolls one more time down the front stretch, and they just made contact, and up and over goes Chad Combs.
Yeah, Combs gets driven through and then up to the wall, and over he goes as he tries to reset the car and slides down the racetrack. He's on his lid, and that may be the end of his night.
Yeah, tough break for Chad Combs. Unfortunately, he upside down here in this iRacing machine. Upside down in a late model a couple of years ago at Twin Cities Raceway Park. But a lot safer to go upside down in one of these.
Yeah, certainly. You're just sitting in a nice comfy seat there at your house as opposed to the cockpit of a real race car, waiting for somebody to come pull you out of safety belts and hold on to you so you don't hit your head when you come loose.
Absolutely. The only thing you can, if you flip over in the sim, then you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, if we go to a double file restart here. I believe this is our first double file restart. So they will give the guys a chance to do it right. You see Chase Hardy maybe having some connectivity issues. That may be something to watch in this one. Bergeron brings the field to green, gets another great start. Drew Hopkins to the bottom right behind him. Dylan Fox is going to look for second spot to the outside, but I don't know if he's got the traction to get there.
Freeberg now Folds sitting in that 6th and final transfer spot. Hardy 1 spot out. Now Hardy Rolls drop back a little bit. Hardy now up to 7th. Scalf right behind him. Then Barry in 9th. Now Folds. Man, that 6th spot. We're keeping an eye on that thing right there. 171 of Freeberg now. Back there in, and we are yellow. Caution is out.
Caution is out once again. You see Hardy has made his way up to 7th spot. Still 1 out looking in. We talked about him in the pre-race being 5th quick in practice, definitely having the pace to get there. But these caution laps counting, and that's going to definitely hurt his chances. You see Hans go backwards into the wall.
Unfortunately for him, Hans backwards. It's Bergeron out front. He's led the whole way. Hopkins in 2nd, Fox 3rd, Flippo 4th, Freeberg 5th, and Folds in that 6th and final transfer position.
Yeah, my video is just frozen.
All right, so we're going to reboot here our video real fast. At our feed, our satellite feed from the track has gotten sabotaged.
gentlemen, we're off and racing for 300 laps tonight, 300 laps tomorrow night. Look at car number 110. He said, look at me, I'm out the lead. He is right in the middle of the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen, in reverse with cars
All right, we haven't missed much. 12 laps to go here in this one. Had a little reboot of the feed. Bergeron, Hopkins, Flippo, Fox, Scalf, and Freeberg. Right now, your top 6 has 11 to go here in this final last chance qualifier here before tonight's 100-lapper here at Lanier.
Well, whatever we did miss sent Chase Hardy to the back of the pack, the end of the longest line for that restart, but he's back up to 11th already. 3 wides working to the inside of Folds and Hans. There you see him starting to poke his nose to the inside of Brett Rouse. He is charging hard with only 10 to go.
Laps clicking down here in this final last chance qualifier. Bergeron still up front. Skin everybody trying to make their way into tonight's 100-lap 1,000 to win main event. Look at Chase Hardy running his way up through the field there in that zero machine. He's up to 9th. Just got to move up 3 more spots.
Well, we call Trent Ivy the little head knocker, but Chase is definitely taking that manner on his own, given, I believe that was Brett Rouse, the elephant ear there. Tanner Folds trying to follow suit in the World of Thunder house car, but out in front right now, it's still all Alex Bergeron. Drew Hopkins content to ride his way into that second spot. Will Hardy have enough time, Chris? I'm starting to think he might not.
He's got to make something happen here. 7 laps to go as he currently sits at an 8th spot. Got to get around Barry, and he's got to get around Freeberg. He's trying to catch him running the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, and Freeberg goes around. Hardy got through, and that might have saved his race.
We might get a gift here unless we don't go back to green. We got to get the track clear, get this field back underway. May go green, white, checkered. This is going to get adventurous, folks. All these people racing for one of 6 spots. As you see Freeberg here in our Swag Esports ERAPS and Graphics Instant Replay. Freeberg just gets, I think, got sideways. I don't think he really had any help in this one as we go down the front straightaway here. You see him to the inside of Eric Scalf there. And then, yeah, just gets sideways all on his own in the slick. And Hardy manages to get through it, so we're going to keep an eye on that. He's up to 8th.
Yeah, I just lost it there coming out of the turn on the bottom of the racetrack. It just got a little slick down there. So we're going to find out what's going to happen here. 4 to go here in this last chance qualifier, our final one of the evening. As the field rifles down behind the iRacing pace truck, it's going to be we're going to be pushing it to go green here. Hopefully we'll get a chance to get a couple of laps in here.
And you do see that Flippo was able to get around Hopkins for second there before they completed that lap. Or that may be because we're doing is this a Delaware double file restart here? That may be the case. I believe, no. Flippo did get around Hopkins for second. So double file, the field lines up. Again, the battle to watch is going to be for that 6th and final transfer spot. As we go, I believe, down the back straightaway here. Pace truck should duck in this time by. You see the field formed up and ready to go. And we are going back green. Chris Nunn.
All right, back underway here with just a few laps remaining. And we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 cars left on the racetrack. 6 of these guys going to tonight's main event of the evening. Hardy he's a lap down.
I believe that Hardy may have been parked. We'll have to go to race control for that one, but you see Alex Bergeron there in the lead. Flippo running the high side for second. Hopkins to the inside. The battle for second is going to be one to watch here in this one. And don't count Dylan Fox out on the high side just yet either. He's had a good run throughout Speedweek so far. We'll have to see if he can get around Hopkins in that 157 machine. Before we run to the end of this one, we come to the checkered flag, and it is Alex Bergeron, Jerry Flippo, Drew Hopkins, Dylan Fox, Tyler Berry, and Eric Scalf, your top 6.
Trying to figure out why Chase Hardy might have got parked there. He didn't do anything that I saw. Then again, I don't know anything. Alex Bergeron, Jerry Flippo, Drew Hopkins, Dylan Fox, Tyler Berry, and Eric Scalf all going to tonight's 100-lap main event. Not making it, Tanner Folds, Bobby Hans, Brett Rolls, Donnie Batiste in that 10th position. Scrolling back a little bit further in our lineup, Chase Hardy, Brandon Freeberg, Chad Combs, Jennifer Hans rounding out the field. Is Zach Newton still alive over there?
Yeah, sorry, I'm updating our lineup sheet here so I can make sure we're all ready to go for the feature race here. I received word that we talked about Chase having some technical difficulties. His internet crashed on him, so you hate to see that.
Not the best time for that to happen. He was flying on the bottom of the racetrack, too.
Absolutely. Our condolences go out to Chase Hardy. What an effort he put in to go from the back to almost the front twice.
Maybe his rap guy will give him a free rap as a hard luck award.
Well, Chase gets all the free raps he wants. He's the sweetest kid in the world.
Oh, all right. So I believe we're going to have to open up another lobby. So that's going to give us a chance to take another quick break here. We'll be back with more of the Mimi's Making Some Motion Speedweeks, the Mimi's Making Some Motion Nationals, the finale coming up here on the other side of this break. Knock on wood. We'll be back in a moment.
There's a lot of esports leagues at iRacing, but there's nothing like swag. Special events, series sanctioning. The Simulation World Auto Group swag is excited for you to become a member and join our team. Weekly competition includes Stadium Super Trucks, the Outlaw Super Late Model Series, the Short Track Cup All-Star Challenge, the Winter Heat during the winter months, and so much more. Special events and venues is also throughout the year. We want you to be a part of the team. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram by looking up Swag Esports Racing and jump on board with the Shark. Big money, fun times. We want you to be a part of what is the new Simulation World Auto Group. All the details again on Swag Racing Esports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll see you at the virtual tracks across the world. And if not, follow broadcast coverage on LSR TV, the weekly racer in CRN Sports.
gentlemen, we're off and racing for 300 laps tonight, 300 laps tomorrow night. Look at car number 110. He said, look at me, I'm out the lead. He is right in the middle of the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen, in reverse with cars going.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zach Newton here with you in the booth, joined with my compatriot Chris Nunn. And currently we've got some lightning in the area here at the Lanier Raceplex. So the cars have been pulled off the track. We are under a storm delay. Should blow through very quickly. But at this time, we are again under a weather delay. Stay tuned here for us with LSR TV as we give you continuing coverage of the Mimi's Makings in Motion Nationals.
We're off and racing for 300 laps tonight, 300 laps tomorrow night. Look at car number 110. He said, look at me, I'm held the lead. He is right in the middle of the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen, in reverse with cars
Welcome back to Lanier Raceplex. Wesley Outland back here with you. Yes, I stepped away. Had to call another race broadcast return. And we're finally with warm-ups for this 100-lap feature here at the
iRacing virtual linear raceplex. By the way, explanation of what happened. Something was going on with the server. They were trying to literally put everybody in. It kept constantly resetting. Just a lot of hiccups and problems, and finally we get it right. And all 21 drivers are now locked in, ready to go. I'm Wesley Outland, joined by Chris Nunn, Zach Newton. We got about 12 minutes to feature time. Gentlemen, they're about to go a century grind for $1,000. This race, this delay, I promise, is going to be worth the wait, because this should be a good feature coming up.
If it's not, I'm blaming you.
It's all
Why would you blame me?
I'm just kidding.
Sizemore's not here.
This race
it's all Sizemore's fault, not mine. He didn't make the feature.
Hey, this race is brought to you by Yingling Traditional Lager.
We have officially started pulling out the adult beverages of their choice.
Chris is 5 beers in. I just poured myself a glass of bourbon.
I understand.
It's iRacing after dark now.
I was about to say, I understand Zach Newton has pulled out the good stuff. He's got the bourbon. He's still playing some drunken golf. So it's like...
Got the Yingling, and Zach's got the good stuff, and Wesley's looking at pictures online.
Ooh, boy.
Whoa!
Easy.
I am. I'm working.
He's looking at race car wraps.
I'm working on my announcer notes for the weekend, and I hope that Bobby Pierce shows up at Richmond and brings his sister for sure. Definitely, it'll be cool to see some cool racing here. So,
boy, Wes is the only one of us not drinking. That's the.
Yeah.
I quit. I'm done. I quit.
Oh man. But dude, if this is how I go out.
Hey, but
it's a bang, not a whimper.
But we're working this big race together, and then we're going to meet each other at Richmond, Kentucky. What would be the odds if that happened Saturday night?
What did we? Yeah, Wes, we got to finish this race before I worry about Saturday, bud.
Well,
you may still be here Saturday.
Exactly, yeah. Listen, in all seriousness, though, people, sincerely, we do apologize on behalf of everybody at 52 Media LLC, with LSR TV, with the World of Thunder. We apologize for the long delay. Chris, we will just say that there's a lot of cool things that have been put into works for the Speed Weeks and trying to do the formats, and there's just kind of been some hiccups along the way. And I will also say that since there's been new updates for the most recent update for iRacing, there's been some changes, and you have to kind of adapt and figure them out and try to get them right. And that's what they're trying to do.
All right, yeah, I'm watching BJ Duvall absolutely go ham on the chat right now, and that's
thank you completely for just totally blowing off the commentary. I was going to let you.
Sorry, I was just reading this, and it's mind blowing. Right
you
now.
Thought we would be serious, Wesley? That was your mistake.
Yeah, so much for getting back to professional here, isn't it? It's been a long night.
No, professional ends at 10 p.m.
Can we talk to Charles, our producer, real quick? Charles, can you chime in here? What do you do to keep a successful 5-hour broadcast entertaining?
Smoke ribs. That's about how long it takes.
I thought you were going to say smoke something else.
You can contact Mimi's Makings in Motion for all of that and all the other cool essentials that they have as well. Thank you again to Jennifer Hantz, the Lady Diva there, for the Race Diva, taking care of being the title sponsor for that. You've been checking out the commercials a time or two since Sunday night on LSR TV about all that cool products. But, yeah. And just think, guys, we got a Weechport tomorrow night. Or tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, whatever it's going to be.
It's going to be tonight before we're done here, Wesley. I don't know how else to say it. We're not even close to out of the woods in this one yet.
Yeah, sorry, I was
just
away.
Cannot believe that I said, guys, I'm going to step away. Hopefully you guys will bring this on home. I literally leave, do a full race broadcast, practice, qualified, heat races, dash, B-main, feature, and you guys have still not started the 100-lap A-main yet.
Wes, by God, as soon as you said it, I knew that we were going to be, this is where we were going.
And by the way, I saw your chat. Did they let your boy get in? Did they let him get in? Did he get a provisional?
He's in currently.
Okay, I got you. All right. I did see that, and I was like, uh-oh. Roll. Oh, well. So, right now we got 21 drivers ready to battle it out. A couple of provisionals. Chris, how did those drivers get the provisionals that didn't transfer in by the races?
I don't have a clue.
Okay. All right. So, hey, listen, guys, we're going to step away.
One
Probably
more
for the
time.
best.
Take a round of commercials since they don't know anything right now. We're clueless. We hope you're enjoying the entertainment. We're just trying to keep you kind of enthused and get you ready for this one, because we promise you when the green flag drops, it's going to be an exciting one for 100 laps here for the Mimis Making Emotion 3rd Annual Speed Week Round 3 tonight. The Mimis Making Emotion Nationals at Lanier. 100 laps, 1,000 to win, all on the way. Back with more in a moment. Going into the midnight hour Eastern time on your home for sim racing, LSR TV. Thanks for joining the party. It's now After Dark.
Welcome back to the virtual Lanier Raceplex LSR TV, approaching the midnight hour Eastern time, and it's almost time to decide the $1,000 winner. Who will hoist the paycheck of the Mimis Makings in Motion Nationals after a century grind 100 lapper here around Lanier? I'm Wesley Outland, your host, joined alongside Chris Nunn, Zach Newton, still here having fun in the after hours, as well as Charles Wooten. We want to thank the sponsors one more time for the Mimis Making Emotion, the third annual DirtFan.com Super Late Model Speed Week on LSR TV. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, we are at Weedsport. Should be a good one for round 4. Thanks again to Mimis Making Emotion, Hunts Performance, Mike's Crazy Paints, KRM Digital Marketing, Swag, E-Wraps, and Graphics. And speaking of swag, don't forget, tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Eastern, roughly, we'll have coverage of the Swag Outlaw Super Late Model Series from Richmond Raceway. Fold Graphics, DirtFan.com, Envision Custom Graphics, Dirt Clash Super Street Series, Grace Productions, LMP Kitchen and Bath Designs, Scalp Race Wraps, Warrior Logistics, Loud Pedal Productions, Richard Rocket Setups, again providing a hard luck setup package for the BNC mains when needed, and UDTV also stepping up and putting up $10 to the slowest qualifier of the night. So all of those sponsors making it happen. It is almost time to go 100 laps around Lanier, setting the field. The 4 drivers from Sunday night in the preliminary night here at Lanier, C, Clark, Flippo, and Murtaugh. Right now, those are the top 4 currently right now on track that are putting times down in this final practice session. But those 4 drivers, Chris, from Sunday, they will be the ones that lead them to the green. Do you think they have an advantage? Obviously, I would think they are, but there's still a lot of top contenders that are going to have to come through this 21-car field to battle for $1,000 to win.
Yeah, they haven't seen the track all night. Now, obviously, the track is going to change. It's going to be the same for everybody. I don't think they necessarily have an advantage per se, but they haven't been on the track all night except until right now. So unless they've been practicing,
As this practice session will conclude, they will get ready to grid. And ladies and gentlemen, without a further ado, it is time to see who is going to pocket $1,000. Remember, points are on the line as well throughout the Speed Week. A $400 championship check will be decided at the end at Charlotte on Friday night. And again, tomorrow night, we're at Weedsport. Then we move on to Volusia, then on to Charlotte. All part of the third annual Super Late Model Speed Week. It's now time for the Mimis Making Emotion 100 Lap Nationals. 1,000 to win. May the best driver win. Chris Nunn, Zach Newton back to the tower. It's time to introduce the starting lineup finally on LSR TV.
Yeah, Zach, time to get off the green, buddy. It's time to go racing.
We just finished a fresh 18, Chris. It's time to heat it up at Lanier, just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. Again, Zach Newton, good to be with you this evening. A cheers to
Wesley
everyone.
forgot about Yingling and Knob Creek as our other sponsors.
I finished the Knob Creek. We're on to Woodford Reserve. Here we go. Row number 1 is Blake. Big Money Majulis in the 127 machine coming at you out of, let me get my sponsor sheet, Asheville, New York.
See, that's what happens when you're drinking on the job.
Shut up, Wes. To his outside, the number 112 machine, Greenville, South Carolina, is Devin Morgan driving for VLR.
Row number 2 is going to see Evan C. on the inside out of Chesney, South Carolina. Trevor Fitz outside of him in 28 out of Bakersfield, California.
Row number 3 shapes up like this. To the inside, the double-aught machine of Mount Airy, North Carolina's Kendall Tucker for Swindell Speed Labs. Outside of him, John Ruggiero Jr. in the 44 for Dirt on Dirt.
Row number 4 on the inside is James Edens out of Petaluma, California. Outside of him, starting 8th, Alex Bergeron, Big Bucks Bergeron out of Drummondville, Quebec, Canada. He'll start 8th.
Row number 5 lines up as follows. My video froze. There we go. Ryan Underwood, the Weed Eater out of Elizabeth City, North Carolina. To his outside, California is Jerry Flippo in the 13.
Row 6 on the inside is going to see downtown J.D. Brown out of Bakersfield, California. Outside of him, the 157 machine. That'll be Drew Hopkins out of Bronhead, Kentucky.
Row number 7. Oh, he skipped row number 7. Row number 8 is Tyler Berry in the 500. Outside of him, it's Baby Hagan. Barry Sorensen in the 45.
Row number 9 on the inside, Eric Scalf, the number 17 machine. And outside of him, the number 15, that'll be Tanner Folds.
Pace truck is off. We are green. Blake Majulis gets a great jump out in front of Devin Morgan. Evan C, teammate of Morgan, looks to the inside of him. Track may lock down. We want to be on the outs. You want to be on the inside line. That's the fastest way around Lanier as the track slicks off. Blake Majulis is going to lead lap 1. C and Morgan still side by side, Chris.
Down the front straightaway they go. One lap complete. Majulis and Morgan, one run and two. C in that third spot. Kendall Tucker back there in the fourth position as we roll down the back straightaway into turn number 3. And out of turn 4, it's still Majulis, your leader. But here comes Morgan and C right behind him.
Keep an eye on Ryan Underwood. He's right down on the rail there in that moisture, finding some racing room to the inside of James Eden's back there. He's up to 6th after making his way in through one of those last chance qualifiers. He's definitely a driver to watch. Was very fast in qualifying race number 1. Out front, though, still Mr. Moneybags, Blake Majulis in the 127, followed closely behind Evan C. We are under our first caution.
Caution is out. I believe it is for Alex Bergeron as we take a look at our swaggy wraps and graphics and Sim Division replay, and there is Bergeron. Looks like Tyler Berry and Chase Hardy after the social media campaign to get Hardy in, he's out already.
He believed he may continue to have some technical difficulties. I believe there's some storms in the area there in Winchester, Virginia, where he hails from, and unfortunately, I believe he was not able to make the call. But the social media campaign rewarding the fans, and that's what we do here at World Thunder. We take care of our people. So it is Blake Majulis leading after 5 laps. Evan C. in second. Devin Morgan third. Kendall Tucker and Trevor Fitz round out your top 5. But the weed eater, Ryan Underwood, is charging to the front.
Checking the radar, and the lie detector says that is a lie. It's perfectly clear in Virginia at the moment.
Chris, I've got some choice words for you after the race. I didn't know.
I didn't know what I had to Maury Povich you there for a second.
Well, Chris, I have been drinking.
Oh my goodness, you guys!
That's why we bring Wes Outland back in. Wes, are you enjoying the proceedings so far? This is what you've come back to.
It's I'm just glad to be here. What can I say?
Just happy to be involved. Wes Outland, everybody. Blake Majulis brings the field to green. Evans, maybe at some point he does. No, they're going to wave it off. Pace truck's going to come back out.
Yeah, Jordan Casey has said he heard Tia Moppert's wheeling the 127 tonight instead of Blake Majulis because Blake's got class at 5 in the morning. How about that?
Blake does have class at 5 a.m. He dropped that in the Discord chat earlier, so we are hearing some conflicting reports of who's behind the wheel of the 127. That may come up later in the Big Red trailer. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Meanwhile, currently the 127 machine out in front, and we have a green flag.
Time race is back underway, and I was gonna absolutely thieve Wesley Outland's opener and be like, "You got a race," but I don't want to pay royalties.
Yeah, Wes charges a pretty penny for any of his catchphrases. Yours are free, so we'll have to see if somebody gets a big enough lead to have the track open up and swallow them whole. To the meantime, right now, though, Ryan Underwood back on the charge. He's looking at the inside of Trevor Fitz for a top 5 spot. Let's see if he can find some racing room. The track very bottom dominant at the moment.
Yeah, I run around the bottom of the racetrack right now as they roll down that front straightaway. Majulis still out front. Saw Evan C. blinking out just a bit there on that last restart as we got this gaggle going here. It's Tucker, Fitz, and there's Underwood right behind Fitz there in that 28 machine. James Eden sits back there in the 7th spot. We still got a long way to go here in this 100 lapper.
Underwood looking to try that Devin Morgan line out. He sees his teammate. They're probably running similar setups. He sees his teammate go to the top side, make something work, and stay competitive. He's going to try it as well. He is banging on Trevor Fitz just a little bit. Underwood.
Money man, Blake Majulis. Tell you, when these money races are on the line, he's hard to beat.
Yeah, Majulis, one of the most clutch drivers in all of iRacing, especially on the dirt side of things. Devin Morgan is an asphalt specialist, but runs very well on the dirt. You see Evan C., also another great driver. Whole lot of talent in the top 10 of this field. And then you get back to Baby Barry Sorensen, Tanner Folds, Jerry Flippo. Some guys definitely on the up and coming line here at World of Thunder. But out front, it's all pretty straight chalk except for Ryan Underwood. Every other driver, except for Richard Murtaugh as well, there in 8th, are World Championship drivers, Chris.
Yeah, right now passing is at a premium right now. Hard to come by right now. It's the low groove is the way to go. Ryan Underwood now looking underneath Fitz for that 5th position as I think Zach's pouring another shot here.
No, I just finished my second one, and we're going to hold off until the end of the proceedings here this evening because if I drink any more, I'm going to go 9.
And I was like, here we go.
I heard glass clinging as well. Okay? I heard that.
I had a glass with tea in it earlier, and I was a server for a long time, and so I stacked my glasses. So
Chris, it must be great living in denial
Well, I need to try that sometime.
Look, Wes, it's more than just a river in Egypt.
Speaking of serving, Murtaugh trying to serve James Edens a slide job here for that 7th position. He'll take the spot as they settle back into the bottom. A little bit of contact there as Edens gave Murtaugh a shot in the shorts there.
A little bit of beating and banging there from James Edens to the inside of Murtaugh. That's going to push Murtaugh up the racetrack. That's going to open the door for downtown J.D. Brown. He's going to make a charge into this battle back there for the 7th position. Out in front of them, though, Trevor Fitz back in 6th as Ryan Underwood has moved into the top 5, and he's trying to reel in Mount Airy, North Carolina's Kendall Tucker in the 00 for Swindell Speed Labs.
Here they come. Out of turn number 4. Sorry, I had something in my mouth there for a second. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Everybody's still running single file there. Underwood holding steady in that 5th position. Tucker 4th, Morgan 3rd, C 2nd. Blake Majula still holding on, but it's not going to be long until lap traffic comes into play.
Exactly. Everybody on their best behavior through these first 20 laps. We've only had, I believe, we've had 1 caution so far. So, yeah, everybody on their best behavior. Now that the field has started to space out a little bit, Blake Majulis out in front. You see Tucker and Morgan sliding up the racetrack. We'll have to see if that allows Ryan Underwood to track them down as they go exploring for moisture up on the top side.
On board with Morgan here as we roll down that front straightaway. A little bit of dust blowing there into the visor from Evan C. And we are currently coming into a quarter of the way in. Going to bring in our host, Wesley Outland. We're a quarter way in this one, 25 laps coming up. What have you saw the first quarter of this race?
It's all Blake Majulis leading the way, the man out of Asheville, New York, that number 27C right there in the number 2 position. Devin Morgan, Noel Tucker. And how about Weed Eater, Ryan Underwood, all hanging in the top 5. Still a lot of racing left to go. 75 remaining here at Lanier. By the way, for those that are freaking out of the chat box, just want to let you know that this is a professional production on LSR TV, and because of that and the equipment that's being used, you can be on Facebook Live up to 8 hours on desktop and broadcast streaming equipment. Now, if you've done it mobile, you get knocked off after 4 hours. So please don't freak out. Enjoy the race. Back to the guys in the booth with Blake Majulis leading the way off at turn 4.
We thank the Geek Squad for that tech support update. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Ryan Underwood has reeled in Kendall Tucker. He's giving him all he wants right now in the battle for 4th place. Keep an eye on Underwood. He's been very quick so far, Chris, and he is trying his best on this one-lane racetrack to make his way to the front.
Yeah, Underwood trying to mow him down. The lawnmower man, the weed eater man, and that number 46 machine, Tucker, right there in front of him. If he gets a nose underneath him, roots him up out of the groove, that might be the way to go right here.
He might just do that. Chris, I want you to take your right hand, reach across your left shoulder, and pat yourself on the back for that pun. It was fantastic. Meanwhile, Ryan Underwood has pulled to the inside of Kendall Tucker, and they're right in the back of Devin Morgan's trousers. Underwood almost clears Tucker, not quite yet, and he might have lost some traction as Tucker turned down across him there into turn 3 and 4. He doesn't quite have the position yet.
Still working side by side. Kendall Tucker making something happen up there on the top side of the racetrack. Not going to try to dive down low on Underwood to cut him off by any means as they roll out of turn number 3 and 4 to complete lap number 29. As we are working here out of turn number 1 and 2 down that back straight. Working lap 31, excuse me, just clicked over. So here it comes. Lap traffic, though. Do you see the gap between your leader and the last place cars right there?
Now, we only started 20 cars in this race. I believe actually 19 cars in this race. And that's going to make lap traffic something we don't have to deal with a whole lot of. Unfortunately, though, this long green flag run means Majulis is starting to track down the back of the pack. You can also see that Tucker and Underwood, despite battling side by side, have reeled in Devin Morgan. That's not something you usually see. Usually you go side by side, you start losing ground to the guys in front of you with a clean racetrack. But Tucker and Underwood are really hauling ham around Lanier Speedway, Chris.
There we go. We're looking right there underneath your leaders, or right out your leader's front window there. Blake Majulis. Evan C. still sitting back there 1 second behind in that second spot. Morgan, 1,000 to win on the line here. And Blake Majulis has led the entire way so far here out of turn number 1 and 2 down the bank straightaway.
Well, Blake Majulis has an early morning class, and he'd like to go to it $1,000 richer. 5 slick and not losing a lot of speed despite not running in a lot of moisture, Chris. Looking very smooth, showing some great throttle control out there in front of the field, but he's starting to reel in Eric Scalf, who's about 13 seconds off Majulis' pace, and that's about a whole lap, so we'll see if that starts to complicate things. Still a 3-car battle back there for 3rd with Morgan, Tucker, and Underwood. Definitely
remains in a feature event. It's going to run smooth like it did Sunday night, so I'm going to stake. I'm going to put money on it.
You gonna put your stake in the ground there?
I hope so.
Yeah. We hope for a nice smooth.
I'm gonna put my Yingling where my mouth is.
I can respect that. Underwood all over the tail end of Kendall Tucker's 00 machine as they continue.
Has been just raging back and forth between Underwood and Tucker as Tucker's wearing out that high line down the front straightaway. Underwood now to that 4th spot as we got lap traffic right there in front of your leaders now.
Underwood finally pulls clear, and now 3 cars give chase to the D1RT entry of Blake Majulis. Those 3 cars, all members of Team Victory Lane Racing. We'll have to see if C. Morgan and Underwood can start to work together. Kendall Tucker now on the outside looking in as Tucker gives Underwood the elephant ear, but they manage to hold it together through 3 and 4.
Still now single file now down out of turn number 3 and 4 down the front straightaway. So once again, we've been having a little bit of internet issues. We've been live so long, it's kind of being a strain on the internet. So our producer wants to send out his apologies if you kind of get some flaking in and out. The longer you're online, the worse the connection gets. So we apologize if it does flake in and out once in a while.
And doing our best we can to bring you the full event here, this 100-lap feature. You see Devin Morgan get tangled up with Eric Scalf, and Underwood closes the gap in a big way to Morgan. We'll have to see if he can reel him in. Again, 3 VLR teammates running 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. A great run for Victory Lane Racing tonight. Unfortunately, out of the money is Blake Majulis, still holding down that $1,000.
For Majulis over C, 2 seconds back to Morgan, 2.5 back to Underwood, 3 back to Tucker. So he's that gap is growing lap by lap.
Yeah, they are going to need a caution flag to reel Blake Majulis back in. Ryan Underwood running 4th, Devin Morgan 3rd, Evan C. 2nd, just as they have been for the last couple of laps. Blake Majulis out in front. Kendall Tucker holds down that 5th spot. Trevor Fitz, downtown J.D. Brown, Richard Murtaugh, Bergeron, and Eden's your top 5. Bergeron back in the rest of the field. Barry and Hardy did not make the call due to technical difficulties. That's your full field rundown as we come to halfway, Chris.
Halfway, got to bring back in Wesley Outland here, our host. We are halfway through. Anything changed here for you, Wes? Or you still riding your horse on Majulis there?
No change right now for the D1RT member Blake Majulis, looking for this big $1,000 payday. Evan C., Devin Morgan, Ryan Underwood, Kendall Tucker. Sorry, Velvet, I think I called him Noel by accident. His dad's name. My apologies. It's been a long night, a long day, but the race rolls on. And gentlemen, we've only had 1 caution flag so far after halfway. I still think things are going to pick up. Still a lot of racing left to go, but a good show here, knocking off these laps. I think these guys are ready to be done here at Lanier.
Past a lot of their bedtimes right now, I guarantee you that much. Some of them had to go to work. Some of them had to get up early for class in the morning. But I tell you what, if Blake Majulis sees it the whole way, he's going to be going to class at 5 a.m. with a smile on his face and $1,000 in his pocket.
Yeah, definitely hard to be mad about being up late for $1,000. I'm telling you right now, if I was making $1,000, I wouldn't be so cranky, or I wouldn't have started drinking. Take your pick. Blake Majulis still leads. It's Evan C., Devin Morgan, and Ryan Underwood. Currently your top 4 still. Kendall Tucker at straight chalk as it has been. Trevor Fitz in 6th. Brown, Murtaugh, Bergeron, Eden's your top 10.
And they come down out the back straightaway. There you see J.D. Brown in that 7th spot. He's got Fitz right there in front of him as they roll down the front straightaway. 55 laps in the books. There you see Murtaugh and Bergeron as they run 8th and 9th. James Edens rounds out the top 10. Laps still clicking away here.
There is moisture available on the top side. You see Alex Bergeron chasing it up the racetrack, trying to get to the outside of Richard Murtaugh. Murtaugh to the inside, currently running 8th. Bergeron starting to track him down, though. They may be side by side as they come off of turn number 4 here at Lanier. Nah, that's turn number 2. It's hard to tell them apart, but they're not quite side by side. Bergeron still holding on to the tail end of Murtaugh's 8th position.
57 laps in the books right now. Still a long way to go here in this 100-lapper here at Lanier. Will tires hold on as the track continues to rubber down? See a little bit of a dark spot up there at the top of the racetrack, but right now that bottom groove is the way to go. The gap between Majulis and C is now under a second as Ruggiero, the lap car, he currently runs on the 17th starting position, 17 cars on the lead lap. Ruggiero is allowing Evan C. to close up just a bit.
Yeah, Majulis cannot quite dispose of John Ruggiero Jr. the way he's disposed of some of the other lap traffic. Ruggiero right there around the bottom of the racetrack. Majulis may have to go high to pass him if Ruggiero doesn't get out of his way, and he doesn't seem interested in doing it. And that's letting Evan C. track down our leader. We're going to have to see as we cross lap number 59 here this time by if that comes into play, Chris.
Everybody running the same groove there out of turn number 3 and 4 as Ruggiero there moves up the racetrack a bit. I think he's that allowed Majulis to get underneath him as they rolled down that back straightaway. Yes, indeed it does. He got around Ruggiero, throwing a pick there between he and Evan C. Now he's got the 22 Machina Clark in front of him.
Well, as Blake Majulis gets deeper into the field, he's going to run into faster and faster cars. Ruggiero again running 17th. Mason Clark, the next target on Blake Majulis' list to go a lap down. He's also got Dustin Hall and Drew Hopkins there, 15th and 16th, not too far ahead. You can see, though, Clark is running a higher line than Majulis. Ruggiero, though, sandwiched right in between Majulis and Evan C.
There you see Clark running the high side, got out of the way of your leaders. 2-lap cars now separating Majulis and Evans battling for position in front of them.
Yeah, it's got to be hard for Evan C. He's going to have to navigate this quickly. He's going to try to do it into turn 1 and 2. He goes to the inside of Ruggiero. They're 3 wide, precarious position down the back straightaway for Evan C. He's got to pull clear here, and he does through 3 and 4. But Blake Majulis has already started working to the outside of the next car to go a lap down, Dustin Hall.
That's Dustin Hall in front of your leaders now as Evan C. clears Ruggiero. Now he's got Blake Majulis running the high side in front of him to get around Dustin Hall. He gets around Hall, puts Hall back behind him. 34 laps to go now, 33 laps remaining, 67 in here in this main event here at Linear. $1,000 up for grabs. It's going to be a shootout now.
Laps continue to tick down. We close in on 30 to go. And Chris, we've seen a great race so far. Very clean. These drivers displaying a great deal of skill on this slick track, trying to keep these cars pointed where they're supposed to be pointed. Evan C. still giving chase to Blake Majulis. That's what you see on screen. As C works to the outside of Dustin Hall. He's going to have to work to the outside of the Catfish Drew Hopkins here in just a moment in that 157 machine. Majulis slides a lane up the racetrack and looks very comfortable doing it.
He's been comfortable this whole race right now. Gets around Drew Hopkins. Hopkins now, he's 14th. 13 cars remain on the lead lap right now. Tanner Folds, the next car up in line to go a lap down as Majulis setting a torrid pace right now. As he's got, it's still less than a second separating first and second. Morgan back there in third, Underwood in fourth, just riding around back there as they're clearing the lap cards as well.
It's a great run for Ryan Underwood, the only non-champion world championship driver in the top 5. And you've got to think, you got nothing but great things to say about the kid from Carolina. He has driven a great race tonight, got his way into the last chance qualifier, and has put a hell of a run in to make it to 4th. Currently ahead of Kendall Tucker, Trevor Fitz, J.D. Brown, Alex Bergeron, Richard Murtaugh, Eden's the back half of your top 10.
As they roll here, you look at Underwood trying to get around the lap car of Dustin Hall. He's got Morgan in front of him. Underwood's hoping the lap traffic could kind of make Morgan make a mistake, try to get one more spot up on the racetrack. Another lap car separates Underwood from Tucker. As we roll here, 73 laps are in the books, 73 down, 27 remain.
Over to a countdown to laps to go. As we are 25 in, we bring Wesley Outland back in. And Wes, it's been all Blake Majulis so far.
It has. What a phenomenal job for him for D1RT. Looking, he's got dollar signs on the brain for the man of the 127. 1 caution flag so far stopping this event. And I still got a feeling, gentlemen, as we have 3/4 through the final 25 settling in, a late race caution, I believe, is on the horizon. And then that will make things get crazy to decide who will be the $1,000 champion of the Mimis Making Emotion Nationals here from Lanier.
So if another caution slows us down, you can send complaints to Wesley Outland at his home address. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. Caution!
And there it is.
The racetrack.
Oh, no. Oh, it's John Ruggiero Jr. parked to the inside of turn 1. Please, no one docks Wesley Outland. There you go. You've heard it. Charles Wooten, my boy Chuck in the production truck, is going to dox Wesley, and you can send all your hate mail, bags of poo on fire, whatever you have to Wesley's home address.
I told you, gentlemen.
Oh,
I told you that this was going to happen.
Yeah, Ruggiero got into Dustin Hall trying to get around him there down the front straightaway, and it ended up sending Ruggiero around, and that's going to bring out our second caution of the event. And I don't know if it's going to affect Majulis much. He's been a good car in clean traffic.
Well, the thing that it gives you, Chris, if you're Evan C., is it puts you right back up on Blake Majulis. And I know that Evan C. is one of the cleanest drivers in all of iRacing. Same for Devin Morgan. Underwood's got a bit of a reputation as a bit of a roughhouser, but these guys in the top 3 are are 3 clean drivers, but Chris, when you put $1,000 on the line to win, all bets are off, and you just bunch the field back up with 20 to go. And I'll tell you right now, for $1,000, I'd put my mom in the turn 3 wall.
Virtually, not reality though, right, Zach?
No,
virtually.
If it was real racing, I'd put her in the wall too.
Oh, dude, yeah, well, look, if it's the dream at Eldora for $100,000 and I'm racing my mom, I'd spin my mom out. For $100,000, I'd spin my mother out.
Straight into the wall.
You're out of control, Wes. Don't sit there and lie to me.
Y'all are out of control.
Don't sit there and lie to me and tell me you wouldn't spin your mother out for this kind of money.
I would spin her out. I'd do the little, the highway patrol spin maneuver, but never crash you to put you in the wall. The pit maneuver, yes. Thank you, Chuck.
All right, so here we go. Blake Machulis brings the field to green with 20 to go. The show is about to be fully on here. Tucker going to pull to the outside of Underwood. That's the battle for 4th and 5th, side by side. Evan C. and Devin Morgan. They're now 3 wide. Underwood gets to the inside. He's looking for a spot on the podium, Chris.
It's getting crazy out here, as you might want to say. The feces is about to hit the oscillator here down the front straightaway as they are stacked 3, almost 4 wide out of turn number 2. Look at these guys go crazy down the pack straightaway.
Yeah, they're held up there behind Underwood. He's got that thing glued to the bottom of the racetrack. A lane lower than Evan C. in second. Majula starting to pull away in the lead. 3 wide, though, the battle for 4th right now. Give it to Trevor Fitz on that lap. Kendall Tucker sideways. Does he hold on? He does, but just barely. Now he's got Morgan around, and they collect a whole bunch of cars. We're going to have another yellow, Chris.
Yeah, we saw it coming. Now we got cautions, breeding cautions here. Your Swaggy, Rapson graphics, instant replay here. Going to check out exactly what happened here down the back straightaway. Morgan made a little contact there. Bergeron's there in the middle, right there on the bottom of the racetrack. And they're still stacked up. Tucker slides up in front of Morgan. Now Morgan made contact with Tucker, and that just wadded up a whole good race car right there.
Well, let me tell you what that's going to do. I think the fastest guy on the racetrack right now might be Ryan Underwood. He was the fastest in that first qualifier on Sunday night. Got in a little bit of trouble in the second one, but he's up to 3rd. He's going to be, I believe that they're going to be Delaware double file here. I'm not 100% sure. But if they are Delaware double file, he's within striking distance of Blake Majulis. And Ryan Underwood, for $1,000, would put everyone he loves into an outside wall.
Tell you what, it's going to be a crazy 14 laps here. Majulis, this is for $1,000, mind you. Evan C. into that 2nd spot, and Ryan Underwood in 3rd. That's who Zach Newton's rooting on, because he gets that whole $1,000.
Well, I get a cut. I don't get the whole 1,000. Majulis on the loud pedal off of turn 4. Good start for him. Can't say the same for Underwood. C, though, going to look to the inside in turn 1. We'll see if he has anything. No, I think we're going to stay yellow. They're not a fan of that start on back, Chris.
Absolutely not. Going to bring it back and try it one more time here on this last part of our main event here at Lanier. 1,000 to win. 13 to go here.
So we're going to bunch the field back up behind the iRacing pace truck. We're going to try this again. Not sure who's to blame for the start, but race control not giving us that information at this time. So we don't know who jumped. However, with that said, we're going to bunch the field back up and try this again.
All right, pace truck getting set to go here. Hopefully we will be able to get started this time around.
And it looks like Trevor Fitz has moved up in front of Ryan Underwood. Not really sure how to explain that. Maybe they're going to say Underwood jumped the start. I'm not really sure how you could make. There we go. Get that switched back around. I wasn't sure what was happening there. Now we're lined back up. Delaware double file restart on the way, Chris. And again, it's been all Blake Majulis now as we tick down close to 10 to go.
All right. Looks like 11 to go here. So Majulis, C. Underwood, Fitz, and Bergeron's worked himself up to the 5th position. He's one of the only guys that are making any strides towards the front, is Bergeron.
Yeah, Bergeron has made some moves. Ryan Underwood has made some moves, but that's really been it. Not a lot of passing to be had as we're back under green. They drive hard down the hill in turn 4. Underwood to the outside of Evan C. into turn 1, but that's not where you want to be, Chris.
No, absolutely not. And they roll down the back straightaway, still 3 wide, as Majulis still holds on. That great line right there, right? It's just smooth right through the middle of the racetrack is Majulis. C and Underwood, 1, 2, and 3. As I am surprised Ryan Underwood is still allowed to be awake right now.
Yeah, it's way past his bedtime. He does have pre-K in the morning, but meanwhile, he's holding strong there on the bottom of the racetrack in 3rd spot, looking for a podium. Blake Majulis and Evan C. out in front of him. Trevor Fitz, though, behind him. Bergeron looks to the inside of Fitz for 4th.
James Eden's got ruffled out of the groove there. He lost a bunch of spots, and there goes Kendall Tucker just losing a whole bunch of spots as well as he gets into Murtaugh and tries to root Murtaugh out of the groove there.
You can see Eden's got pushed up the racetrack again in that turn. Devin Morgan still holding strong in 7th. Out front, though, still Blake Majulis. As you see Kendall Tucker get absolutely freight trained. Looks like a guy left in the middle of a Talladega Super Speedway race as he goes back, all the way to 11th spot. He holds up Tanner Folds. There's a little bit of contact behind them, but some great side-by-side racing, Chris, as we come to 5 to go.
5 laps remaining for Blake Majulis. 7C still sitting at the 2nd spot. Underwood 3rd. Fitz in the 4th spot. Bergeron still completing out your top 5. As right now, man, this is Blake Majulis' race to lose at the moment. He has got a half a second advantage, then about 8/10 back to Underwood back there in the 3rd spot. As right now it's just clear sailing for Majulis.
Absolutely. Majulis is well on his way to $1,000. Evan C currently holding off Ryan Underwood and Trevor Fitz behind him. Alex Bergeron again rounds out your top 5 with 4 to go. Underwood trying to rebound from a rough race at Knoxville last night, looking very good. He's going to finish in the points tonight and make a move up the leaderboard. Meanwhile, though, it's all Blake Majulis out front.
Down the backstretch into turn number 3 and 4. Majulis holding on out of 4. There's going to be 2 laps remaining this time by. 2 to go. Coming up here for Blake Majulis as he continues to lead. Smooth sailing out of turn number 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. White flag's going to fly this time by.
Say what you want about Blake Majulis. He has driven an absolute barn burner of a race as he takes the white flag. Coming around in just a moment. There it is. You see it on your screen. We are 1 to go. Majulis off of turn 2 will remain untouched for 100 laps. The battle, though, is Evan C. and Ryan Underwood, VLR teammates, for 2nd. Underwood goes to the bottom of C. Does he get there at the finish line? No. By just fractions of a second, your lineup is Blake Majulis, your winner, Evan C. and Ryan Underwood. Trevor Fitz and Alex Bergeron will round out your top 5.
All right, that's going to do it. 100 laps here at Lanier. Wesley Outland, your thoughts on tonight's feature event?
So there you have it. The celebration begins for D1RT driver out of Asheville, New York, Blake Majulis. A $1,000 payday. Getting it done here at Lanier. Was it worth the wait after the midnight hour Eastern time? We certainly hope that you have enjoyed it when we didn't have the downtime going on. When it's all said and done, Blake Majulis picking up the victory. Gentlemen, there is the unofficial race results for the Mimis Making Emotion Nationals here in Georgia.
That's right. Blake Majulis, your winner. Evan C. 2nd. Ryan Underwood in that 3rd spot. Trevor Fitz 4th. Alex Bergeron 5th. Jerry Flippo 6th. J.D. Brown 7th. Devin Morgan 8th. Barry Sorensen 9th. And Zach Kendall Tucker rounding out the top 10.
Absolutely. We go to page 2 of the lineup sheet is the Rocket Richard Murtaugh in 11th. James Eden's 12th. Tanner Folds, Dustin Hall, and James Grace, your top 15. Mason Clark, Kentucky's Drew Hopkins, John Ruggiero Jr., Eric Scalf, and Tyler Berry, your top 20. And shotgun on the field, my boy Chase Hardy, who was unable to make the call due to technical difficulties.
All right, I'm seeing whether or not they've got anybody in the interview waiting room at the moment. I don't see anybody over there in the interview waiting room, so hopefully they're going to be bringing those guys up here very shortly, and we'll be able to talk to Mr. Majulis, who's $1,000 richer after leading all 100 laps of this main event here at Lanier. So, all right, we're going to, well, thought I saw somebody pop over there, but I guess not. So, I guess we'll give it about another minute here to see if anybody comes into the waiting room. Nope, never mind. We're heading over to the Discord. We'll be back in just 1 second.
Gamers hosting gamers worldwide on LSR TV. It's time for the Clan Wars servers post-race wrap-up after round number 3 of the 3rd annual Speedweek concludes for the Mimis Makings in Motion Nationals here at Lanier Raceplex. And now we're going to have Chris Nunn talk to our 3rd place finisher, Mr. Ryan Underwood. Or actually, it's Zach Newton's going to talk to the 3rd place man.
Yeah, Wes, come on now. Here with Ryan Underwood. Ryan, you ran. Yeah, it has been a long night, Wes, certainly. Ryan, you ran 3rd tonight. You were one of the only cars making forward progress through the field. What'd you do to find that success tonight?
I really think it was just whoever found the line first, and I really love this racetrack, so I think that's what really helped me to succeed here tonight.
Yeah, you did a good job of staying clean tonight, staying out of trouble, and making your way through the field. I don't want to keep you too long because I know you've got pre-K in the morning, but why don't you walk us through your sponsors who helped you get us here?
I got to thank everybody at VLR, Evan C., Devin Morgan, Toter Family Racing, Newton Cattle Farms, TAC 3 Defense, and all the guys that helped me be here.
Absolutely. Ryan Underwood comes home 3rd. Great run for him. Going to move up the Speedweek's point standings after a rough run at Knoxville. We now go to Wes Outland, who's with our 2nd place finisher, Evan C.
Evan C., that beautiful number 33. He'll settle for the bridesmaid position. Evan, what's your take of tonight's 100-lapper at Lanier?
It was definitely a tough track to race on. I mean, you had to have an egg under your foot and make sure you just didn't wash up off the bottom or spin real bad. It's always a tough track when it gets real slick here. You just got to be smooth and not make any mistakes because, you mess the line up and you lose a couple of hundredths, and it's hard to make up on this track. So definitely congrats to Blake. You ran a good race, and, you just had a little bit better car than us all night long. But, I guess we'll take 2nd. We traded positions from last night with them, so it was overall a good run for us.
And, the first 77 laps only had 1 caution flag. There was a very long green flag run. Was there ever a time that you felt whenever we started seeing this sequence of cautions the final quarter of the race that maybe you could make an opportunity to get around Blake?
I don't know. I might have could catch up to him on a longer run. He would kind of pull away, when we went back green both of those times. I couldn't really get that good of a jump, but I think if it would have stayed green, I might could have got to him because I felt I could roll the very bottom pretty good. He was kind of drifting in the up on entry and cutting back down, but those cautions didn't really help me. But he was definitely faster tonight, and I'm pretty sure it'd have been hard to pass him once I would have got to him anyway. So.
On to virtual weed sport for the driver, the number 33. That is, again, Evan C. 2nd here tonight in the Nationals. And now down to victory lane as Chris Nunn has called up with Asheville, New York's Blake Majulis and a $1,000 payday to boot.
Now, we don't call him the money man for nothing. Blake Majulis, man, you sat through a long one tonight, but, man, at the end, it's worth it. $1,000 in your pocket. And it's got to make getting up at 4 a.m. a little better.
Yeah, for sure, man. Just trying to live up to my name here. I had a good run for sure. Tried some stuff earlier and kind of got a good set built. Kind of based it off the other night, and it was able to work out here tonight. Added a little more fuel and made some adjustments, and all was well.
You guys finally got into lap traffic there that allowed Evan to catch up with you just a bit, but man, you worked that lap traffic to perfection. What was your strategy going into lap traffic there when everybody was running the same line?
Yeah, it's just kind of, keeping your eye out and making sure, they don't slip up or make a mistake or even hit the inside wall like we've seen earlier in the week and come up and smack you and ruin your race. So, just kind of keeping an eye out and making sure everything's okay. They were all kind of on the bottom there. They were all held their line. So, it was good lap traffic to maneuver by and, they didn't cause any problems. So I can't complain at all.
I will let you thank your sponsor, so you can get a little bit of a shut-eye before you head to class in the morning. Who you got helping you out?
Yeah, I just got to thank everyone at D1RT Racing. We've all worked really hard lately, and, we're on a roll right now. So I just hope to keep the momentum going for sure, finish this week out. Sim Seats, Matt Logan at ML Performance. He's done a lot for me as well. Thanks, Matt. Design 75, Jeremy Ray. Down Under Graphics, Howard Weaver for the paint tonight. You guys for broadcasting again. Thank you. My girlfriend Tia for everything she does, and everybody that watched. Thank you.
Tia stay up for the whole thing?
Nope, she's sleeping. She's got class.
You have to wake her up and tell her, hey, we're $1,000.
I know.
Right. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Thank the Money Man Majulis coming home with tonight's feature win. I don't have anything to say about that other than that was my pick to win. I just didn't tell you guys beforehand.
That sounds about right for you, Chris.
Oh,
well,
really? Okay. Okay. Okay.
For all of us here at LSR TV, Cody Wooten, my boy Chuck in the production truck, Chris Nunn, Wesley Outland, I'm Zach Newton. We'll be hopping on the private jet to Weedsport. We'll see you tomorrow night as Mimi's Makings in Motion and DirtFan.com's third annual Super Late Model Speed Week rolls on.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of LSR TV and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of 52 Media LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. LSR TV would like to thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.